old horror movies, before it even starts. Old horror movies in what sense? Like old Dracula? Dog shit. Dog shit film. The earliest horror movies were terrible. Jump scares were bad. And people were shitting their pants over literally the least scary thing possible. But the era of slashers, Jason, Scream, or Friday the 13th, Scream, Ghostface, you know, Freddy Krueger, awesome. I will say, though, I wasn't a big fan of Nightmare on Elm Street. I've seen, like, almost every, like, type of slasher film. Not a lot of the Jason films, but I've seen almost every Scream movie. I think I've seen every Michael Myers movie, or Halloween, rather. But I did not like Nightmare on Elm Street. Leatherface is kind of lame.
You know, as much as I love them, horror movies nowadays,
Texas Chainsaw's goated.
just don't hit the same. But is this true? Are horror movies from the...
No, horror movies hit more than they ever have. I think horror movies today would actually kill people in the 80s. I'm so serious. Like, yes, The Conjuring isn't modern, but even like newer horror films, like a Blumhouse movie or some shit, I think I would love to teleport back to the 90s when people were like getting ready to watch fucking Scream or some shit, and then throw on fucking what is the most scary what is the scariest movie of all time? It's not Conjuring. Oh my God. He has tapes in his attic. I've seen the movie. No, it's not Terrifier. Sinister. Sinister is supposed to be like the scariest film ever based on heart rate. Like scientifically, I think Sinister is the scariest film ever made. When they did an experiment, they tested people's heart rate and like it had a lower peak heart rate, but the average heart rate of somebody watching Sinister was like 120 or something. Like you're just stressed out the whole fucking movie. It's not even scary. I agree. I think it's more of a stressful film. I didn't think Sinister was that scary. I think Conjuring is the scariest movie I've ever seen. Disturbing Terrifier.
The 70s, 80s, and 90s really better or scarier? Well, that's what we'll find out today. Today, ladies and gents, I'll be going over a few horror movies from back in the good old days to not only figure out how well they hold up, but to answer that question. Are retro or vintage or old horror movies really better? Are they? I'd like to know.
Dude, they're very predictable. That's the only problem. So they're kind of like comfort films in a sense, even if you've never seen them, but they're so predictable. If you're watching a Jason film, there's going to be a naked woman. She's going to take her top off. She's going to be the first one to die, almost always. The virgin lives almost always as well. And that's like, for some reason, a part of every horror movie. And, every Jason film, it'll just be like, oh, wait, oh, sorry, let's go skinny dipping. It's like, what? And then fucking Jason is watching from the distance, kills you.
And in the end, I'll go over one of the oldest horror movies ever to see how it holds up over a century.
Nosferatu.
Later. Yeah, a century. And the first one I got up is called...
Nosferatu came out in fucking 1920. Slumber Party Massacre. Guarantee you there's probably like 8 topless women in this film. I've never seen it.
Now, some of you may know this one, and some of you may just read the title and think, Slumber Party Massacre? That sounds a lot like Texas Chainsaw. I know what it sounds like. And I'm gonna get to that one too. I'm doing this one first though. Slumber Party Massacre is a 1982 movie where we follow a group of girls who, unbeknownst to them, are being stalked by a serial killer. And I gotta say this now, if it's something these old movies had, it was that nudity, bro. Like, my goodness, did I click the wrong movie? Either that or I just stumbled upon a lost episode of Euphoria, because dang. That's a lot of butt, bro. But yeah, we follow...
And out of nowhere, too. Like, it'll just be like, oh, let's take our tops off. What?
A group of girls who are being stalked by a serial killer.
What? You ever watch a sex scene with your parents? Bottom 3 experiences.
Who uses a drill as...
Bottom 3 experiences. You feel the silence. You feel the silence.
That's his weapon, a drill.
So awkward.
And since they don't realize they're being stalked, they set up a sleepover like it's a normal night. They ordered pizza, gossip. They even broke out the dub pack. Don't do drugs, y'all. But what they ain't know is that it only made it easier for the killers to catch them lacking. And so the girls have to try and survive the night before the killer could turn this slumber party into a massacre. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I've only seen this movie once, but I think this movie holds up. I think it does. The characters are likable and realistic, which you...
What's the horror movie where the guy controls bees? Oh my God, what is the name of that film? Somebody knows. He controls bees. Candyman. Yeah.
Can't say about every single horror
I see clips of Candyman.
movie. Like, they're not just some
Never seen that movie. I always get so confused when I read the description. I'm like, what do you mean he controls bees?
no personality dummies who are just there to die. The killer is actually scary. I mean, have y'all ever seen a dude whose main weapon is something you can only find at Home Depot? Like, what? And then they even had some funny moments. It's a good movie. I mean, this is 1982. This is the same year Thriller came out. Of course it's gonna be good. And I know it's not the massacre horror movie people usually think about, but I just wanted to show this one some love because I feel like nobody talks about it. And don't worry, I'm gonna get to the one you're thinking about. But first I gotta talk about...
I have never heard of any of these films. Carrie? Wait, what's the one movie where there's that really... Is it Carrie? There's like a really creepy scene at the end. Oh my god. It's like the movie's not scary and then there's a scary twist. Is it Carrie? Somebody help. Somebody help. It's like a woman and she's facing... Is that Carrie? Carrie movie... A Carrie ending scene. No, it is not Carrie. Oh my god. No, it's like they're Sleepaway Camp. It might be Sleepaway Camp. Ending scene. I'm going to show old horror movies before it even starts. Old horror movies in what sense? Like old Dracula? Dog shit. Dog shit film. The earliest horror movies were terrible. Jump scares were bad. And people were shitting their pants over literally the least scary thing possible. But the era of slashers, Jason, Scream, or Friday the 13th, Scream, Ghostface, you know, Freddy Krueger, awesome. I will say, though, I wasn't a big fan of Nightmare on Elm Street. I've seen, like, almost every, like, type of slasher film. Not a lot of the Jason films, but I've seen almost every Scream movie. I think I've seen every Michael Myers movie, or Halloween, rather. But I did not like Nightmare on Elm Street. Leatherface is kind of lame.
You know, as much as I love them, horror movies nowadays,
Texas Chainsaw's goated.
just don't hit the same. But is this true? Are horror movies from the...
No, horror movies hit more than they ever have. I think horror movies today would actually kill people in the 80s. I'm so serious. Like, yes, The Conjuring isn't modern, but even like newer horror films, like a Blumhouse movie or some shit, I think I would love to teleport back to the 90s when people were like getting ready to watch fucking Scream or some shit, and then throw on fucking what is the most scary what is the scariest movie of all time? It's not Conjuring. Oh my god, he has tapes in his attic. I've seen the movie. No, it's not Terrifier. Sinister. Sinister is supposed to be like the scariest film ever, based on heart rate. Like, scientifically, I think Sinister is the scariest film ever made. When they did an experiment, they tested people's heart rate, and, like, it had a lower peak heart rate, but the average heart rate of somebody watching Sinister was, like, 120 or something. Like, you're just stressed out the whole fucking movie. It's not even scary. I agree. I think it's more of a stressful film. I didn't think Sinister was that scary. I think Conjuring is the scariest movie I've ever seen. Disturbing Terrifier.
The 70s, 80s, and 90s really better or scarier? Well, that's what we'll find out today. Today, ladies and gents, I'll be going over a few horror movies from back in the good old days to not only figure out how well they hold up, but to answer that question. Are retro or vintage or old horror movies really better? Are they? I'd like to know.
Dude, they're very predictable. That's the only problem. So they're kind of like comfort films in a sense, even if you've never seen them, but they're so predictable. If you're watching a Jason film, there's going to be a naked woman. She's going to take her top off. She's going to be the first one to die. Almost always. The virgin lives. The virgin lives almost always as well. And that's like, for some reason, a part of every horror movie. And, every Jason film, it'll just be like, oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Let's go skinny dipping. It's like, what? And then fucking Jason is watching from the distance. Kills you.
And in the end, I'll go over one of the oldest horror movies ever to see how it holds up over a century.
Nosferatu.
Century later. Yeah, a century. And the first one I got up is called...
Nosferatu came out in fucking 1920. Slumber Party Massacre. Guarantee you there's probably like 8 topless women in this film. I've never seen it.
Now, some of you may know this one, and some of you may just read the title and think, Slumber Party Massacre? That sounds a lot like Texas Chainsaw. I know what it sounds like. And I'm gonna get to that one too. I'm doing this one first though. Slumber Party Massacre is a 1982 movie where we follow a group of girls who, unbeknownst to them, are being stalked by a serial killer. And I gotta say this now, if it's something these old movies had, it was that nudity, bro. Like, my goodness, did I click the wrong movie? Either that or I just stumbled upon a lost episode of Euphoria, because dang, that's a lot of butt, bro. But yeah, we follow
out of nowhere too. Like it'll just be like, oh, let's take our tops off. What?
A group of girls who are being stalked by a serial killer.
What? You ever watch a sex scene with your parents? Bottom 3 experiences.
Who uses a drill as
bottom 3 experiences. You feel the silence. You feel the silence.
His weapon, a drill.
So awkward.
And since they don't realize they're being stalked, they set up a sleepover like it's a normal night. They ordered pizza, gossip. They even broke out the dub pack. Don't do drugs, y'all. But what they ain't know is that it only made it easier for the killers to catch them lacking. And so the girls have to try and survive the night before the killer could turn this slumber party into a massacre. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I've only seen this movie once, but I think this movie holds up. I think it does. The characters are likable and realistic, which you...
What's the horror movie where the guy controls bees? Oh my God, what is the name of that film? Somebody knows. He controls bees. Candyman. Yeah.
Can't say about every single horror movie.
I see clips of Candyman.
Movie. Like, they're not just some...
Never seen that movie. I always get so confused when I read the description. I'm like, what do you mean he controls bees?
No personality dummies who are just there to die. The killer is actually scary. I mean, have y'all ever seen a dude whose main weapon is something you can only find at Home Depot? Like, what? And then they even had some funny moments. It's a good movie. I mean, this is 1982. This is the same year Thriller came out. Of course it's gonna be good. And I know it's not the massacre horror movie people usually think about, but I just wanted to show this one some love because I feel like nobody talks about it. And don't worry, Leatherface comes out and kills Franklin too. I'm not that mad at that one. But again, like I said, he's still not the scariest part. When it gets scary is after Sally runs away all the way back to the gas station to see if she can find some help, she encounters the worker from earlier. And after asking him to help her and seeing him come back with a rope and a bag, she realizes they're in cahoots. Yeah, the gas station guy, Leatherface, and not just them two, but the hitchhiker from the start are actually a family of cannibals. Yeah, I know.
What? I have not seen this original one.
Cannibals. Yeah, I know. The hitchhiker, really? Who would have thought? And to me, this dinner scene after they kidnap Sally is the horror of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Tied up in a chair made of people on some Ed Gein stuff. Then across from you is a table of dudes who are doing a try not to laugh with your suffering. That's some scary shit. And what scares me even more about this is, you know you can't reason with them. They're rednecks. Sally tries to bargain by saying she'll do anything, and that doesn't even work. Oh, poor Sally. Don't you know they only do that stuff with their sisters? But before they, I guess, eat her, the brothers, because they're brothers by the way, don't let this older one fool you. The brothers decide instead of killing Sally themselves, they should let their grandpa do it. Oh yeah, their damn near deceased
That guy's alive?
Gramps was there too. And if you think he might not
that guy's alive.
Be a cannibal, no, he's as bad as the rest of them. He even dances when he tastes his blood. So yeah, they decided they should let their grandpa do it. But since this dude freaking predates the dinosaurs, he keeps dropping the hammer. It's kind of like that SpongeBob episode, the firmly grasp it. And this was their biggest mistake. Because while they're trying to switch who holds the hammer, Sally breaks free and jumps out the window. Most realistic horror movie character, I swear. And it's daytime now, so she just starts hollering. And as the hitchhiker is slashing at her back, getting closer and closer to catching her, a freaking semi-truck runs him over. I forgot that happened. And this one ends with that same truck driver stopping to help Sally fight off Leatherface, only to run away. To where, I have no clue, but he's gone. He's gone. And luckily,
why don't they just get back in the car?
Pickup truck this time stops to save Sally just in time. Hey, maybe hitchhiking ain't so bad after all. Leatherface seems happy about it with that dance he's doing. Yeah, this one holds up too. It's a classic. I'm sorry, it's a classic. And now for the
yeah, that did look like a better movie than the other ones that I've seen.
Final, and by far the oldest movie of the video. And a movie I chose because I know it's something y'all gonna remember. Nosferatu! I know y'all recognize this guy. Nosferatu. First time I ever seen this.
Bro, I wonder how scary Nosferatu was for people in the 1920s. Like, that must have been nightmares for days, dude. Probably made people actually believe in, like, vampires.
It was the same place most of y'all seen. On SpongeBob, the hash-slinging slasher episode. And I remember covering my eyes when he would pop up at the end. This guy scared me, genuinely. So when I found out he was in fact real, like he had his own movie and SpongeBob ain't make him up, I put off watching it for years. until like 2 weeks ago when I remembered it.
I don't know, man. I don't think I could sit through a movie from the 20s. Like anything before fucking what is the one with the Yellow Brick Road? Is that Alice in Wonderland? No, that's not Alice in Wonderland. What the fuck is that? Yellow Brick Road, the old Tin Man dude. Wizard of Oz. Anything before the Wizard of Oz? Ugh. And I've watched I was in a cinema class in college and we had to watch like Casablanca and like other films. When was Casablanca? Like 1940? Yeah, 1940. It's just bad. I think movies from that era are just like shitty most of the time. Like I didn't dislike the film, but I'm like, hey, this would be a lot better if this movie wasn't like 80 years old.
Googled it and found out, bro, this movie's over 100 years old. 1922. To put that into perspective, when this movie came out,
the Roaring 20s, bruh.
Queen Elizabeth was in her 40s. Okay, I'm joking, but she was almost born. That's crazy. And even explaining like that, I don't think y'all really understand how old this movie is. Guys, this movie is so old, it's a silent film. Like, no dialogue.
Oh, that's even worse, dude. I've watched like 10-minute silent films before, like comedy ones. Oh my God, the humor was terrible. It was literally like slip on a banana peel humor. Dude, if you watch like an old 10-minute silent film that's funny, I'm sitting in a quiet room just watching a guy like mime jokes. This is fucking awful. Like Charlie Chaplin, yeah. Slapstick comedy. I understand older like, you know, a while back, like humor's been subjective and humor evolves over time, but I really think people like before 1940 were the unfunniest motherfuckers of all time. Like, the funniest guy you knew would be like the cringiest guy in your friend group today. Like, no good jokes, no good humor. And it was all like surface level shit. And none of it was like raunchy or funny or like, you know, breaking any barriers. It was always like just like a knock joke would be the vibe of humor.
On some Charlie Chaplin stuff. But 100 years old and no speech. Does this movie hold up? I think so. Look, the movie's obviously not the same level of scary as some films today. Nowhere near, actually. It's a simple story about a vampire whose name isn't Nosferatu. It's actually the Count, who is trying to, you know, do
Count Orlok
vampire stuff and suck the blood of this dude he met's wife. But y'all gotta understand how insane that must have been back then. This was before vampire movies were everywhere. Like, there was no romance ones like Twilight or any good ones like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. None of that. So for a little sheltered European boy to see this in theaters back then must have been traumatizing, even more than it scared me. But you're right. This is about how it holds up today. And y'all be happy to know that even 100 years old, it seems like horror movies don't change that much. Cause the main character in this movie is a idiot, just like in the newer ones. I'm serious, there's a scene, right? Well, I'll word it like this. If y'all woke up in the morning with bite marks on your neck and you have a roommate that only sleeps during the day, are you not gonna find that even a little suspicious? Just a little. Even if you don't know about vampires, you know this dude was awake at night when you got bit, so you could at least ask him what bit you. But yeah, point is, even though I may not watch it anytime soon or ever again, I think it holds up. In fact, I think there's modern horror movies that are much worse than this, much worse. Have y'all seen Imaginary? Talk about disappointment. Or maybe I'm just biased because he was in SpongeBob. Who knows? This one ends with the wife, whose name is Ellen, pretty much sacrificing herself and letting the Count suck her blood. And not because she's into it. No, this is not Carrie's mama. She did it to distract the Count, so when the sun rises, he doesn't notice. And the sun vanquishes him. Isn't it crazy that everyone in this movie is dead?
Bro, but like, okay, you're watching the movie, silence. Radio. Silent film is unbearable. Watch like 5 minutes of a silent film and they'll throw stuff on the screen. Wowza! In big text if it's a comedy one. Oh, that's not what was supposed to happen. And because you have to fucking read it. You have to read it. It has music? Yeah, usually. Usually there's like dun, 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 or some random shit.
That's pretty much all the movies I wanted to go over today.
But it's always like silly clown music.
No judgment. I think these old horror movies hold up for the most part. Honestly.
Wait, those shits are not copyrighted probably. I could probably pull up one. Old silent film comedy. Like, this shit had people dying, bro. Whoa! Whoa! What the fuck? Best of Buster Keaton's greatest stunts. All right, I'm done with this. W. Why Otto Warmbier didn't survive North Korea. For the people that don't know Otto Warmbier, he is the guy that took the poster off a hotel wall in North Korea. They set him back in a vegetative state, and he died.
This is Otto Warmbier. He's a 21-year-old American college student.
My crime is very severe and pre-planned.
No, it was not severe. And I also don't know really if it was pre-planned. I think North Korea's government that killed this guy and effectively tortured him is full of psychopath narcissists that don't understand that somebody taking a poster off your wall really isn't that big a deal. You probably could have charged him for it. I think any other hotel would maybe get him for, like, vandalism, and it would be like a petty crime, petty theft, but not to the point where he has to be on a big news station and he's fleeing for his life.
Travel agency. The destination was Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea.
On the early morning of January 1st, 2016, I committed my crime aimed at harming the work ethic and the motivation of the Korean people.
Are we serious? Are we serious? Yo, they wrote that out for him to say. There's no way. I aimed at harming the North Korean people's work ethic. He took a poster off a wall, bruh. You're acting like he took a on Kim Jong-un's statue.
After a night of partying, he allegedly took a poster from the hallway of his hotel. Shortly after, he was detained for perpetrating a hostile act against the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
I understand the severity of my crime.
Now he's here, trying to save his life, at the mercy of a totalitarian dictatorship.
I have been very impressed by the Korean government's humanitarian treatment of severe criminals like myself. And if
Are we dead ass? Dude, when he got off the plane, that motherfucker got wheeled out. They put him in like a coma borderline. Are we serious? I respect how nice they've been treating me. When he got back, he died.
they're very fair and square legal procedures in the DPR Korea.
A communist regime that nurtures a deep hate for America.
The United States administration already knows about my act through the CIA. And
Yo, I actually always used to say that I would go to North Korea if they let Americans go there. I'm now changing my mind because I know they would kill my ass. I have talked so much shit about Kim Jong-un and North Korea in general, like so much shit. I couldn't pull up and be like, hello, I love your country. There's no prisoner camps here. You're not killing your people. You're a great leader. Your people aren't malnourished. No, you invented the hamburger. Oh, wow. Oh, your father invented the hamburger. Sorry. Wow. Really? Yeah, you just came up with the idea.
connived at my crime.
Soon, the case of this college kid will escalate the already tense relationship between two nuclear powers.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the
And I also, bro, I gotta say, it's not, there's no feeling bad for Kim Jong-un, but like, Kim Jong-un is definitively a product of the environment he grew up in. Like, Kim Jong-un would be a regular guy if he had not grown up with his father being a psycho dictator that spoiled him and like ensured that he would be the leader of his nation. Like, his son Kim Jong-un wasn't even supposed to be the leader of North Korea. His older brother was supposed to. But his father called him a pussy and said that he couldn't lead because Kim Jong-un was better and like capable of doing that shit because his older brother was too into music and was too womanly or something. Like Kim Jong-un was literally manipulated from the second he was a child to be the leader of North Korea.
United States, they will be met with fire and fury.
Otto Warmbier, at this point, has no idea what he is about to face.
An American is being held captive in North Korea. He was sentenced to 21 years of hard labor.
Those prisons are rough places. If something very bad happened to him.
Americans' fateful trip to North Korea.
Complete failure to recognize fundamental human rights.
And I mean, dude, you're not even thinking like, not only is he in North Korean prison, he's in just foreign prison, which is already terrifying. Like, imagine you're a guy that only speaks English and you get imprisoned in China. You're in jail or prison, and no one speaks the same language as you. Like, maybe in China they would. In North Korea, no one speaks English because they hate English. They hate Western ideologies. So you're literally just like getting screamed at. You don't know what's going on.
Rights.
The dreams of a young man
You're fucked.
destroyed by dubious charges from a ruthless regime.
This very press conference might be his last chance to save his life.
I don't want to say, yeah, and I know that, like, they have him. Oh, my God. I feel like this is just one of those scenarios where it's like, and I'm not going to see, I know Trump was president when this was happening, and I think what he's doing right now, and he's like, we need to forcefully take over Greenland. Fucking crazy, right? Like, Denmark literally says we could use their military bases, and, like, why is he saying that? For his own personal gain. It's fucking weird, right? But, like, this is one of those scenarios where I do wonder what would have happened if he was like, if Otto Warmbier comes back harmed, I will bomb North Korea. Like, if he just, like, flat out said that. Like, obviously he never would over this kid because he's not, like, I don't want to say it, but it's like, the U.S. does hold value over important figures in foreign policy, especially with obtaining, like, either prisoners of war or, you know, people that are held captive in other countries. Like, if he was not just a random college student, it would be different.
Son in my family. My mother needs me. My father needs me. My younger brother and my younger sister need me. I entirely beg you, people and government of the DPR Korea.
I think he is emotional, but what sucks is he has to put, like, this begging plea when, like, he's not in the wrong. Like, he did a slap on the wrist thing, and they kill him for it. He did something so minute. The counterpoint people are going to say is like, well, he was in North Korea, you should have known. But it's like, okay, bro.
For your forgiveness. Please. I have made the worst mistake of my life.
Otto Warmbier won't survive, and his case will bring
What'd he do? Took a poster off a wall.
the US and North Korea to the brink of war. But the version of events many people remember might not be true.
What? Can't start out the video
Much
like
of
that,
our
Fern.
research is based on this extensive GQ article. Find the link in the description. New Year's Eve, 2015. This is Kim Il-sung Square in Pyongyang.
And it's not 2015 in North Korea. It's not 2015. New Year's Eve, different year in North Korea.
Thousands of North Koreans have gathered to watch the fireworks and greet the new year. Among them is a group of tourists. These are people from Europe, Australia, and the US. They're here with a travel agency, and they booked a 5-day, 4-night New Year's party tour for $1,200. Otto Warmbier is one of them.
I mean, that's crazy, dude, how much the country's changed since then that you were able to book a New Year tour in North Korea.
New Year's party tour for $1,200. Otto Warmbier is one of them. Now, after the fireworks, they return to their hotel, a 47-story tower located on a small island in the Taedong River. It boasts 5 restaurants, a bar, a sauna, a massage parlor, even a bowling alley. One of the restaurants revolves. Because of its location, people call it the Alcatraz of fun. During the tour, they'll drink at a fancy bar and eat at fine restaurants. And, on top, they get the full propaganda tour. They've already visited the 70-foot bronze statues of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, the country's first two dictators. They're regarded as near holy figures. State propaganda has it that when Kim Jong-il was born at the site of a holy mountain, a double rainbow and a glowing new star appeared in the sky. Today, his birthday, the Day of the Shining Star, is a public holiday. Citizens spontaneously salute the massive statue.
Yeah, and they have his dead body in a fucking box. Or some shit. It's either him or his son. They have his dead body in a box that they, like, fucking visit. Or some shit. It's fucking weird.
Homage.
Yeah, he's in an eternal
Propaganda
slumber.
is everywhere. Billboards show images of missiles striking the U.S. Capitol. Other posters sport slogans like, "Let's arm ourselves strongly with Kim Jong-il's patriotism." Disrespecting the communist dynasty can get you in big trouble. According to GQ, the Database Center for North Korean Human Rights confirmed a case of a factory janitor being prosecuted for bumping such a picture off the wall so that it fell and broke. Otto and the other tour members need to be careful. One wrong move, and they could face harsh punishment. Otto was raised in a suburb outside Cincinnati, Ohio, the oldest of three siblings. In high school, he was popular, athletic, and smart. At both prom and homecoming, he was crowned king. Speaking at his high school graduation, he quoted Andy Bernard from The Office.
"I wish there was a way to know that you're in the good old days before you've actually left them."
Now, he's majoring in finance. Halfway through his junior year, he decides to do a winter break adventure to North Korea. It makes sense. He'll be studying abroad in Hong Kong in the spring. In 2015, the State Department's travel advisory for North Korea is clear. It recommends against Americans traveling there at all. On the other hand, the website of Young Pioneer Tours, Otto Warmbier's travel agency, said that traveling to North Korea was, quote, extremely safe. The tour operator specializes in taking...
Yo, that's literally cap. Like, if you, even in 2015, if you landed in North Korea and you just went, fuck Kim Jong-un, arrested.
You to destinations your mother would rather you stay away from.
Kim Jong-un is both fat and stupid. Arrested. Dead.
Parents had their concerns. But, as Cindy Warmbier later said, why would you say no to a kid like this? Early in the tour, the group is visiting this ship, the USS Pueblo. The North Korean military captured it.
I'm not suicidal.
In 1968. The North Koreans claimed it had entered their territorial waters.
I gotta rewind.
Captured it in 1968. The North Koreans claimed it had entered their territorial waters. Now it's a tourist attraction. When the North Korean tour guide explains that the ship was seized from the United States, he doesn't say the...
Yeah, and they always go, oh, with North Korea's might. With North Korea's might, we took hold of the ship. The very weak Americans died trying to fight us, and now we use it as a showcase that we're much stronger. Yo, we could flatten your country. Like, I mean, it's just utter, it's garbage just being spit out of their mouth. Like, it is literally just like fucking king. Yo, nobody dick rides harder than the people of North Korea for Kim Jong-un. And it's not even because they want to. They have to, or they die.
United States. He says, the imperial enemy.
This is not political, chat, bro. I'm not putting a political warning.
In 1950 and 1953, the U.S. dropped an estimated 635,000 tons of bombs on the country, plus some 32,000 tons of napalm. Major cities were obliterated. 75% of Pyongyang was destroyed. During the war, as many as 1 million...
Janitor and the maid at the hotel, dude. They probably have no guests at that fucking hotel anyway. I mean...
The plot goes all the way to the top.
The United States administration already knows about my act through the CIA, which is closely linked to the Z Society, and connived at my
Yo, the Z Society actually sounds like some shit that's made up from like a Disney film. Like, genuinely.
crime.
The church, too, is linked to the government.
The Friendship United Methodist Church is not a typical church. It is very wealthy, with $42 million. That is why the United States administration...
Yeah, the fucking $42 million. I mean, that number might be accurate across all of the Methodist churches combined. His local Cincinnati church does not have $42 million.
has very close ties with this church.
He was manipulated, plain and simple.
I was clearly given the task by the Friendship United Methodist Church. I was encouraged by the Z Society. My crime is very severe and pre-planned. I regret my actions more than anything. I beg for forgiveness, and I beg for help in any way possible to save my life.
완비호의 발언이 끝났습니다. 들으신 바와 같이 미 행정부는 우리 공화국을 반대하는 정말 더러운 행위를 감행하고 있습니다.
Experts agree that Otto Warmbier's confession seemed quite obviously coerced and staged.
Yeah. What? I mean, yo, how, dude, even the average North Korean person watching this, there's no way that they don't know what Methodists are. Like, I think they're just going, oh, the religion in the United States. Yeah, they always say religion's bad here. Ooh, they're conniving against us.
Korea has a history of coercing confessions, and the U.S. accused North Korea of broadcasting this one for propaganda purposes. A member of the Z Society said Otto had never approached them and denied any affiliation with the...
What is the Z Society? That's an actual thing? What the fuck? A secret society that was founded in Virginia in 1892? Remain anonymous because the belief that service, when provided anonymously, provides a unique philanthropic opportunity.
CIA. And the senior pastor at Friendship United Methodist Church said he didn't know of the deaconess mentioned by Otto. But this is later, after it's too late. Now, standing before the Supreme Court, all Otto can do is beg.
I was used and manipulated. Please, act to save me. Please save my life.
But his pleas fall on deaf ears. He's handcuffed and led from the room. He's been sentenced to 15 years of hard labor. 2 days later, on March 18, the Korean Central News Agency released the CCTV footage to the public. Western news outlets treat...
Bro, that's not him! Oh my god! I feel like the story I was fed was from North Korea. What the fuck?
The footage with suspicion. That figure could be anyone.
That shit's in 140p!
One story notes that the corridor is well lit, something that, in a country where electricity is scarce, is far from the norm for staff-only spaces. Some of his tour mates give interviews. One of them, Sarah McLaughlin, says there was an issue with the time shown in the video.
Your group had been out at a New Year's Eve party in the hours before that. Were you even back at the hotel then?
No, the time didn't match up at all.
According to her...
What the fuck? Yo! So from the start, North Korea planned on pinning this on someone, and they picked Otto because he didn't go out with the rest of them. Like, if Otto had gone bowling or something, they would have just picked somebody else.
The young pioneers didn't return to the hotel until around 3 a.m., more than an hour after the footage was allegedly captured.
Oh my god.
Another tour mate says in an interview with the BBC that Otto was careful to observe the rules. They'd been told not to take pictures of military staff or installations, and he'd been nervous when taking a photo with military personnel in the background.
Men for mig giver det simpelthen ikke mening, at den samme fyr, som stod og var så nervøs over at få taget det her ene billede, som måske var lidt på kant med det, vi havde fået at vide, vi måtte, så skulle kunne drikke sig så fuld og forvandle sig til et helt andet menneske nærmest, og så bare jorde op og prøve at stjæle et banner.
His roommate, Danny Grattan, also doubts that it was Otto.
We never mentioned anything remotely like that. We'd already bought some souvenirs. In my heart of hearts, the guy I knew for 3 or 4 days was not that type of guy.
Everything about the whole story was fabricated, in my opinion.
But why?
Otto's parents, Fred and Cindy, turned to the Obama administration for help, but the
Oh, was Trump not president at this time?
Warmbiers later said they were advised to keep quiet. According to GQ, Robert King, the special envoy for North Korean human rights issues, warned that drawing media attention to the ordeal might anger the regime.
Oh my God, and then they would just kill him. I don't even think that's bad, the government, because my point was like, if Trump was president, I feel like he'd be like, I'm just going to kill you guys, give him back. But then they would just kill him. King warned Warmbiers to expect a marathon, not a sprint. He recommended the family be quiet to avoid antagonizing the unpredictable regime.
Media attention to the ordeal.
Yeah, because they could just do anything.
Might anger the regime. What makes it even more complicated is that the United States has never had a formal diplomatic relationship with North Korea. There is no U.S. embassy in Pyongyang.
Yeah, so how are they even going to communicate?
The Swedish ambassador serves as the liaison for Americans, but the Swedes' calls and emails are met with silence. The days turn to weeks, turn to months. Efforts at back-channel diplomacy are stymied. The issue is passed from one administration to the next. No one knows where Otto is, what he's doing, or how he's being treated. Then, in early June 2017, some 17 months after his detention, the news finally arrives. Otto is unconscious. An extraction team of doctors and diplomats is put together. And finally,
Let me start by saying that I'm glad Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and I, along with a very talented team, were able to get Otto Warmbier back with his parents.
Fucking idiot, dude. Like, I mean, like, we got Otto Warmbier back. He's in a fucking coma. We got Otto Warmbier back. He's brain dead. He's, what the fuck? We got him off the plane. You got him back. You got a body back, bro. You ain't get the guy back. Otto's not there mentally.
Otto Warmbier is returned to U.S. soil on June 13.
We're thrilled that our son is on American soil, and I'm able to talk to you on Otto's behalf, and I'm able to wear the jacket that he wore when he gave his confession. Otto, I love you, and I'm so crazy about you.
Bro, this whole fucking thing feels weird, man. Like, even there, I feel like the dad would be, like, crashing out.
Last night, being able to see Otto for the first time in, gosh, I bet it's 18 months, it was fantastic.
Mad at Trump? I'm not mad at Trump. I'm just saying that speech where they were like, oh, we got Otto Warmbier back. Like, it's not a victory, bro. He's not, like, make sure he's alive and well. Like, that'd be like, we got this person back. He's in a vegetative state.
Otto's not in great shape right now, and he's been through a real tough time, and it's great to have him with us, and I'm very proud of him.
Otto is home.
But were they supposed to leave him there? No. But don't announce on a press conference to up your PR that you got a guy back like you just killed Osama bin Laden, when in reality, the guy you got back, you didn't get back safe. That's all I'm saying. Like, they were met with soft ears, did nothing for 17 months, and then he comes back fucking almost dead.
When Cindy and Fred met Otto at the airport, they were shocked.
We walked over to the plane. We heard this howling, involuntary, inhuman sound. Otto was on the stretcher across in the plane, and he was jerking violently, making these inhuman sounds. Otto had a shaved head. He had a feeding tube coming out of his nose. He was blind. He was deaf.
We got Otto Warmbier back. Like, you see the point I'm trying to make? You see the point? That's all I was just trying to say. Can we lock back in on this poor guy that's dying, right? Like, that's all I was just trying to say is, like, why are you giving a speech like it's a fucking victory, bro? Like.
He was taken to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center's Neuroscience Intensive Care Unit, where extensive imaging and diagnostic tests immediately began.
His vital signs were stable upon arrival and have remained so.
He doesn't need.
He was blind, deaf, on a feeding tube, and convulsing violently. Wow.
Help breathing. No signs of infection. No.
What do we know why? Do we know why they sent him back? Like, did North Korea just ship him back? Fern didn't fill that. He said the Swedish liaison couldn't contact North Korea. Nothing happened for 17 months, and then randomly they're informed that he's unconscious and he's shipped back to the United States. So what? Like, North Korea, like, almost killed the guy and went, oh, fuck, now this is going to be a problem. We got to send him back.
Dysfunction of non-neurological organs. His neurological condition, though, is described as unresponsive wakefulness.
Oh, were they, like, electrocuting him or something? something.
What used to be called a vegetative state. He blinks. Sometimes his eyes open, but he isn't aware of his surroundings and doesn't respond to verbal commands.
Oh, are you not supposed to say that anymore? I thought that was like a fucking medical term. No, it just says it's unresponsive. A vegetative state or unresponsive wakefulness syndrome means a person is awake but shows no signs of awareness, purposeful response to their environment, and this is due to severe brain damage. Yeah, so they were like torturing him.
To see how he came home was too much for us, but I almost passed out, but I got it together and I rode in the ambulance with him because I did not want him to be alone anymore. He'd been alone for way too long.
He's surrounded by his loved ones, but his condition soon worsens. He develops a high fever, 40 degrees Celsius. Fred and Cindy Warmbier are told that he'll never wake up, and they ask to have his feeding tube removed. 6 days after his release, Otto is dead. The news travels across the world.
The family of Otto Warmbier has said goodbye.
Valid. That's what I'm saying, dude. When you get told that they're never going to wake up and they're just going to be perpetually kept alive on machines, it's time, you know?
Nach dem Tod des
Sad.
Studenten Otto Warmbier.
Otto Warmbier скончался после возвращения из тюрьмы в Северной Корее.
Otto Warmbier murió pocos días después de ser entregado a los...
And what's so bad is we won't even know what they did to him, right? Because it's like, if he had woken up, he could have been like, Jesus Christ, and like told his story of like the North Korean prison camps and how they tortured him and all this other stuff, but he's fucking dead. So it's just like they literally just got sent a body.
The
American student who fell into a coma while in North Korean custody and has died.
On June 22, in Wyoming, Ohio, more than 2,500
There's a city named Wyoming, Ohio.
people attend his funeral. The condition in which Otto Warmbier came back to the U.S. and his
I did not know that there were cities that had the state name for a city. 500 people attended his funeral. Wow.
Wyoming, Ohio, more than 2,500.
They always say the impact on the people you had in your life is determined by how many people show up at your death.
People attend his funeral. The condition in which Otto Warmbier came back to the U.S. and his subsequent death are discussed nationwide. He left the United States in good health. He returned on the brink of death.
Do you know what happened to him in North Korea?
Untrue. I don't think it's untrue, but I think how you affect and touch people in your life does matter, right? The people that care are the people that show up.
I don't.
Content note: the following chapter discusses suicide. Viewer discretion is advised. Upon his release, North Korea gave an explanation for Otto's state. They said he contracted botulism, a rare and severe kind of food poisoning, after eating a meal of spinach and pork. After he fell ill,
They were probably giving him fucking slop and actual terrible food, dude. Like, they weren't keeping him in good condition.
they gave him a sleeping pill, to which he had some sort of unexpected reaction, which sent him into a state of unresponsive wakefulness. But U.S. medical experts are quick to dispute this story. 3 doctors, experts in neurology, ran tests on Otto while he was still alive. At the request of the family, they hold a press conference to give their opinions.
Those tests did not reveal any evidence of active or chronic denervation, nor any repetitive stimulation that would suggest active botulism at this time.
The North Koreans,
So they just made that shit up. I mean, yo, that's actually fucking unreal, dude.
Teams are lying, and the Warmbiers have a different story.
They tortured him. They intentionally injured him. It looked like someone had taken a pair of pliers and rearranged his bottom teeth. He had a large scar on his right foot.
They destroyed him.
They purposely and intentionally injured Otto.
On September 25, 2017, Fred and Cindy Warmbier gave an
I do love that they're doing this now, where they're like, because I didn't keep involvement in this after this happened. I just had known that he had died. But I love that they went out on news stations and were, like, speaking against it.
Interview on Fox and Friends. Trump apparently watched. This becomes the narrative. Physical torture.
Yeah.
And, as a consequence, brain damage. But soon, serious doubts emerge. Let's go through his injuries one by one. First, there was a noticeable scar on Otto's right foot. This is Dr. Lakshmi Kota Samarko, the coroner selected to conduct an external autopsy. Fred Warmbier had noticed the scar, but had Dr. Samarko?
Physically, as far as wounds, there were a few small scars that we documented. There was one that we really couldn't explain for medical instrumentation, which some of the other scars we could. But there wasn't anything on the external examination to indicate, other than that one scar that we couldn't explain, to indicate torture.
The Warmbiers opted against a complete autopsy, offering no reason for this decision. But Dr. Samarko did perform an external inspection. Later, in a lawsuit against North Korea, an expert witness cited the scar on Otto's foot as potential.
A lawsuit against North Korea. How's that working? Hey, Kim Jong-un, we're suing you. No, you're not. And then they just move on. Like, how do you sue North Korea?
Evidence that he was subjected to torture, possibly electric shock. But does this injury prove Otto was tortured? No.
Is this nigga serious? This really how them Disney bullies used to be running up, bruh. And when he's finally done with his dance routine, you had him looking like... Nah, this shit was dead frying me, but it was truly GOAT material. And now we're gonna talk about other people of this same ilk. Now, I do think Goku is the GOAT anime character, and for some reason, that's a hot take. I do
Yeah, Goku. Who are other GOATs in the anime sense? I mean, like, a lot of people would say, like, Luffy. But if you're talking, like, power, isn't it Goku or One Punch Man? Like, it would be, what is One Punch Man's actual name? Oh, my God. I didn't watch Season 3 because it was so bad, apparently. Saitama. Yeah.
Understand some of the hate Goku gets, because back in the day, his fans were doing unparalleled levels of dick riding.
The guy from Solo Leveling? Okay, well, that shit's kind of lame.
You couldn't talk about any anime character without hearing he not beating.
He's the only one that can level up. Most people are stuck in A or B tier. He's exceeding. I watched Solo Leveling as well. Pretty good anime. But only because it's like, oh, that's just like a video game. He's getting so much stronger. And oh my God, everybody likes him now.
Goku, though. Shut up, bro. Always talking about beating Goku. The niggas typing this couldn't even beat diabetes. And although this was a very annoying era, it does not take away from the fact that Goku is the GOAT. Goku has the most iconic move, the most iconic transformation, the most iconic silhouette. He literally walked so an entire genre of anime could run. So if you are someone in the camp that's gonna look at me and say, Luffy is the GOAT, I just want to hold you by the shoulder and say...
I don't think, when people say Luffy's the GOAT, I don't think they're saying he's the strongest, like, anime character. I think they're just saying that, like, Luffy is the best. Like, he's the coolest. Yeah.
This very calmly. Y'all niggas can suck my dick! When it comes to the greatest anime ever...
Eren Yeager. Eren Yeager's up there. That motherfucker. Oh my God. Dude, AOT. Fucking, oh my God, that shit had me crying, actually. That was like one of the only animes that I haven't seen many animes, but this is one of the only animes I watched where I was like actually like emotional. He's watching his fucking mom get eaten and he's just crying and it's so sad. I'm like, dude, you just watch your mom, not watch your mom die. You just watch your mom get eaten alive. Like, wow.
That is a little too subjective. My anime list used to have Full Metal Alchemist at the top for years, and
obviously they got Deku.
It was well deserved.
All for one, or not all for one for all.
It's one of the most perfect shows of all time.
Obviously it's Deku and Bakugo.
And I'd recommend it to anyone who has not seen it. Now, one of the most common places you would see the GOAT talk about is sports, and depending on which one you're talking about, there's either a debate or there is no contest. In American,
yeah, tennis, it's Serena Williams.
Football, it is very...
Gymnastics, it's Simone Biles.
Clearly Tom Brady. I know niggas were trying to gas up Kermit the Frog for a minute, and I was just like... Like, you do not make one of the largest sports comebacks of all time to be in Patrick Mahomes talks. When it comes to track and field, there was a...
Who else is even on the board in GOAT talk football-wise. Like, who else has, like, 9 super... Like, there has to be other people with, like, that many Super Bowl wins. It's almost always a quarterback, people would say. Drake May. Bro, he's, like, 20. It's, like, his fucking second year in the NFL. It's not Drake May. Like, maybe Drake May, if Drake May fucking locks in 10 years from now, you'd be saying he's the GOAT. NFL players with the most Super Bowl rings. Tom Brady, then Charles Harley, Marv Fleming, Gronkowski. But Gronk was also on the team with Tom Brady. So,
Undisputable GOAT in Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt in his prime was a different breed.
Usain Bolt, but who's the dude that just beat his U18 record? There's a new guy that's running that's like almost as fast as Gout. Yeah, Gout might actually be the next Usain Bolt.
He had announcers saying
he's like 19 or some shit, and he ran like a 9.8 or like a 9.9. Noah Lyles will never be better than. I love watching Noah Lyles run. I don't think Noah Lyles has the athletic build to beat Usain Bolt's one time. Noah Lyles could potentially be the GOAT in the 2, but Usain Bolt is the fastest sprinter ever. Like, he was winning 1s and 2s. Like, Noah Lyles isn't that good at the 1 comparably.
Lines that didn't even make logical sense.
And Usain Bolt has now broken his 5th world record in 12 months.
Like, if you look at some of these races, it was legitimately unfair. He was gapping the fast.
Bro, unfair. And even when he would hold a world record, he was gapping a guy that was running like a 9.8. Like, I don't think people understand the level of speed. That's why I always say the Olympics should have just some rando run next to them. Because it's like, oh, dude, he just smoked everybody. Yeah, he did smoke everybody. Those other guys also won, like, top 10 times all time. Like, in the same race.
Just people on the planet like it was nothing. And Usain Bolt was...
Yeah, you would... Dude, if you watch Usain Bolt run, most of the time he would just start jogging at the end. Because he just didn't care.
It's a type of dominant where I would genuinely hate the nigga if I was running against him. Because his aura farming was on a completely different level. Because you'll see people using all their might to run as fast as they can. And you'll just see Usain Bolt next to them jogging while literally laughing in their face. Nigga, I'd harm you. Like, these are people that spend their entire lives training just for this moment. And Usain Bolt is taunting half the match and still getting first. You are not winning against this.
Yeah, like, yo, he just ran a 22.9 and he was like jogging.
And Usain Bolt is taunting.
Look at that!
Half the match and still.
Oh my God, he's actually slowing down. Like, he's actively slowing down in the last 40 meters, and there's still like a solid 10 yards behind him.
First.
Ray didn't choose the thug life chose him. But maybe he should have spent less time reading books and more time
I don't think that's what he was saying. I think he was effectively saying that, like, the situation's so bad that you have the choice of signing up, but you would be an idiot not to.
And his money up. Because then he'd be home watching Curly get smoked from the comfort of his living room. Now, just because there's some hypothetical universe where I was dumb enough to sign up for this doesn't mean I'm dumb enough to stick around. And after 7 miles, I'm already gonna be tired as and reality is going to start setting in that I might not be built for this after all. And even with Curly down, I've still only got like a 2% chance of winning, so personally I'd rather take my chances and try to escape. But I'd just get blasted if I try to run, so I need to convince everyone to join me first. Basically, I'd just point out that they all have only a 2% chance of surviving as well, and then secretly make a plan to rush the soldiers.
This is the worst strategy I've ever heard. Hey, we all only have a 2% chance of surviving. Let's all just rush them, and we'll win. They can't kill all of us because then there's no winner. Oh, okay. One guy could just be like, yeah, no, I'm definitely down. Just don't run. Everybody else gets shot. You instant win. What?
The next time we have a good opportunity. I'm thinking we wait until it's nighttime and they're out in the middle of nowhere, and then we all work together to take down the guards. There's only about, 6 or 7 of these guys? And there's still 49 of us. And I'll be honest, our chances of winning the fight are pretty small, but...
Yeah, but they're not gonna want to do that because the reason they're partaking in this isn't because they're trying to change the system. They just want money. And if they kill all the guards, they're just gonna end up getting rushed by the militias that come for reinforcements.
They've got to be better than 2%, right? Now, if you trusted me, that was your biggest mistake. I mean, seriously, there's no way we could take those soldiers. Those guys have tanks. But once the chaos breaks out, I'ma just use everybody as a meat shield, dip into the forest, move to Canada, and change my name. And then I'm never walking more than 50 feet in any direction ever again. They've been walking for hours when Pete finally decides to empty the tank, but since he can't stop, he just turns around and let it rip straight at the other guys. Now they're on mile 17, and Ray tells Pete that he's feeling a little tired, but on the bright side, only 48 more people need to die before he gets to sit down. Pete's feeling it as well, but he tells Ray that the trick for getting through it is to just take things one moment at a time. After a while, they pass a little girl who came out to cheer for Ray like he's one of the damn Jonas Brothers. The others start making fun of him for it, but Pete decides that they should all be on some best friends forever type shit and try to get along instead. So that's how Ray, Pete, Hank, and Art became the Four Musketeers. But of course, Barkovich has to chime in with his little 2 cents just to let everyone know that he is still annoying. That's when Hank starts feeling like something's wrong with his leg, but then out of nowhere, Walker number 1 drops—
Yo, he just starts seizing out. Oh my God. Yo, like a heat stroke or something.
To the floor and starts having a seizure. But there ain't no nurse's office on this field trip, so they just blow his head off as soon as time runs out, and that makes 2 walkers down with 48 more to go. By now, they've been walking for 25 miles, and that's basically an entire-ass marathon, and they aren't stopping anytime soon. The boys start wondering if Barkovich still has his 3 warnings, but he chirps back that he's back down.
I was saying my strategy would be to, because it's like, they're in the south, so it's pretty warm, so even at night it's not that cold, and you could tell it's like either spring or summer. So I would probably, you would be more dehydrated, but I think I would walk with no pants on. So every time I needed to shit, I would just fucking shit, you know, like down my leg. It would be disgusting, but like I would never need to pull my pants down. I would just poop or piss. I would just walk straight, piss all over myself. Who cares? You know, just keep walking. Mosquitoes, don't care. Mosquitoes are the least of your problems.
To none, which is when Pete pulls out some kind of tin can full of raw deer meat, and it disgusts Hank so bad that his leg cramp starts coming back. They all start walking a little slower until it passes, but my boy Hank just keeps screwing it all up, and he drops the last little tube full of rations that was supposed to get him through the day. But Ray comes in clutch and gives Hank one of his, because that's just what the Musketeers do. Barkovich starts picking on this kid named Rank for his objectively stupid name, and he rage baits him with a bunch of yo mama jokes until he finally takes a swing. But Barkovich just keeps dodging him like Neo from The Matrix until—
Yo, this part was actually kind of funny, because Barkovich is just like, yo, your name's stupid as fuck. I bet your mom's a bitch. And Rank immediately crashes out, tries to punch him, warning 1, misses. Tries to punch him, warning 2, misses, slides against the asphalt, fucks up his face, and then just eats shit and dies. It's like, everybody's like, Barkovich, you're a murderer. You're a murderer, Barkovich. And it's like, yeah, it's right that Barkovich did rage bait this guy into dying, but like, I mean, the fact that Rank fell for that is like such a weak mentality.
He finally trips and ends up cheese grating his face on the pavement. The others already know what's about to happen, and when Rank can't get up, the soldiers just pull up and dome him right on the spot, making 3 walkers down with 47 more to go. Whoever let Rank sign up for the walk must have really hated Dude, because, I mean, come on, all it takes is one look at the guy to tell that he never stood a chance. I mean, at least—
Actually, though, like, I'm not trying to make fun of this guy as, like, an actor, but, like, they cast and made him perfect role, the clothing, the hairstyle. Bro, you could tell, looking at this guy, you're like, I know he's not winning. I know he's not winning.
He was skinny, but this ain't a trip to summer camp. You need a little bit of that killer instinct to get by, which Buddy here obviously did not have. Like, bro, I'm not about to let some dude named Gary Barkovich get in my head. So if he started trolling me, I'ma just ignore him and keep on walking, because why am I worried about this dude when there's a squad of guys with machine guns waiting to light me up? And you can tell homeboy here was an easy target from the way he reacted, because anybody who went to public school knows you never show a bully that it's getting to you. So nah, I would just block it out and use the thought of him getting body bagged as my motivation to keep—
Or if you, like, really didn't care, what I was saying is, like, if I was rank and I really wanted Barkovich to die and I knew I was going to lose, just fucking put him in a full Nelson. You know? You could take somebody down with you. You would get a warning for impeding against somebody else, but the warning against the other person still stands. So, like, if I tackled Barkovich to the ground, we both die.
Going. And just...
You'd have to catch him. I would just tell him, if you keep fucking with me, I will kill us both.
Just because you took a little spill doesn't mean you just give up. Like, rub some dirt in it and get back to walking, my boy. Because my legs would deadass have to be broken before I just sat there and let it happen. But I could actually use this to my advantage as well, because there's nothing in the rules against trolling other players, and even if some of these guys are more athletic, I know I've got them beat when it comes to talking shit. So now, I wouldn't want to get everyone mad at me first, because it's still good to have some friends so you can help each other out.
Yeah, you don't want to, like, you don't need to make friends, but you don't want to make enemies, because they could ruin your game.
But anyone from the outside of the friend group is fair game. So I'm gonna start looking for the easiest targets, figuring out what they're most insecure about, and then start trolling them non-stop for the rest of the game. And according to the rules, anyone who attacks another player gets a violation. So all I've got to do is get someone mad enough to take a swing, and I'll...
Bad play, bad play, bad play, bad play. Anybody who attacks another player gets a violation. All right, I made my spoon they gave me into a shiv, and I just stabbed you in the jugular. You're now bleeding out on the ground, and I have one warning. You rage baited me for 3 days. I'm kind of hallucinating because I'm on a lack of sleep, and I no longer care, and I just kill you.
I'll be one step...
Like, no weapons, Joe? They get... Dude, they... Zod. Spoiler. I'll say it. Barkovich, at one point, feels really bad about rank dying and starts kind of tripping, and he knows he's going to lose, and he doesn't like that he has no friends, so he walks in front of the pack and kills himself in front of everybody. He goes, "You'll be with me forever," and then stabs himself in the jugular, and they all watch him die. They have no weapons, Zod. How did he stab himself? He made a shiv with a spoon, which is... that happens in the movie.
Closer to winner chicken dinner. And I mean, sure, yeah, it's not the most honorable way to do it, but I'm not afraid to use dirty tactics if that's what I got to do to survive. And since there can only be one winner, I'm gonna make sure I do whatever it takes to get the advantage. The boys all start blaming Barkovich for what happened, even though he's trying to act like he didn't do anything wrong. But now he's easily the most hated guy in the game, and everyone else is just waiting to see him get smoked. Things calm down for a little bit until word starts going around that...
Oh, what really fucks with Barkovich is Pete goes, "I don't care if I win, I just tell you that I'm living past you." Like something along those lines. Pete literally goes, he's like, at one point, there's like 8 of them left. And he says something, and he's like, all right, well, like, he mentions numbers, and he leaves out one, and it's Barkovich, because he mentioned, like, an hour prior, he was like, I don't care if I die, I'm just not dying before him.
Walker 45 has the Hershey squirts, and that's...
Oh, this part's kind of funny, though.
That's when my boy just drops his pants and starts letting it rip right there in the middle of the screen. And I mean, hey, what else are you gonna do here? There's no time to wipe unless he wants to get killed, but he can't hold off the chocolate thunder from down under, and they end up blowing his head off mid-dookie without a moment's hesitation, making 4 walkers down with 46 more to go. Now they're 35 miles in.
The fuck thing about that, too, is like, he poops like 5 times. And they go like, oh shit, look, he has the shits. It's bad. And he, like, smells really bad. He keeps pulling his pants down. Bro, just take... Why are you wearing skinny jeans? Hey, Ma, we're going to the long walk today. I'm going to put on my fucking skinny jeans from Old Navy. What? Out of everything, bro, wear sweatpants. Sweatpants or jeans. You know, loose, baggy jeans. So ones that you can take off. Cargo pants, shorts. I don't know.
It's getting close to nighttime.
Some baggy shit.
Notices that Ray's got something on his mind, but he says that he'll tell him in the morning, so they've got something to look forward to. He breaks out some of these homemade cookies and starts dreaming about being back at home with his mom, but suddenly he wakes up a few hours later, and Pete says that he's been sleepwalking for miles. Everything seems to be going fine until Ray gets his second warning, and Barkovich starts chiming in with his usual bullshit.
That's when Ray trips and gets warning number 3. But even though Pete helps him up, he starts cracking under the pressure and spazzing out on his own boys.
Yeah, bro, because he's got 3 warnings. If he fucking falls back again in the next 3 hours, he's dead.
Now it's time for their greatest challenge yet, a hill. And Stebbins says that they're about to start dropping like flies. The place
Yeah, he said, I think he said something along the lines of like, last year, 12 people died on this hill. Or like 15. He was like, more than half of the people left die here. Because it's like a fucking 300-meter stretch of just like a full incline.
Starts sounding like a Call of Duty match as anyone who slows down gets blasted, and Barkovich is still yapping the entire time. All Ray can do is lock in and ignore the rifle pointed straight at his face, but when he's about to give up, Pete grabs his arm and helps him push through. Ray apologizes for losing his cool, but Pete's already squashed the beef. And Art and Hank survived the climb too, so it looks like the Musketeers are still going strong. Only 18 of them.
Bro, in Art, it's this guy. Is his name Art? I don't know which one's Art.
Still
and which
going
one's
strong.
They usually refer to each other by like the people refer to them by their numbers. This guy chews a singular piece of gum the entire time. The entire time. He's like, me and the gum. Me and the gum got to make it together. Dude, that shit gets stale an hour in. You're 35 hours in chewing on the same piece of gum.
Hank survived the climb too, so it looks like the
flavor's gone, dude. It would turn into a rock.
Tears are still going strong. Only 18 of them survive until the morning, and now they're 59 miles in, with every step getting harder and harder. Alright, now the fellas just survived their first night, and if I was able to make it through that, then I'd be starting to feel a lot more confident about my chances of winning this entire thing. But since we're down to only 18 survivors, I officially have a 5% chance of winning. And that's still not great, but it's better than nothing.
Not great, that's ass! That's ass. More than half of the people are dead, bro. You still got a fucking 1 in 20.
Right? And honestly, I gotta try to look on the bright side because after walking 60 fucking miles nonstop, I'm gonna be the most exhausted that I've ever been in my entire life. Like, I don't know if you fully realize this, but that's 2 marathons without stopping. So unless I gave myself an adamantium skeleton like Wolverine, my legs, knees, hips, ankles, hell, everything are gonna feel like they're on fire. And my feet are gonna be so covered in bloody blisters. So yeah,
you're gonna be bleeding like crazy. They're not mentioning that. Like, you're regardless of what shoes you're wearing, your feet are going to be so fucked.
When this is all over, I'm gonna need one hell of a spa day. So it's understandable why Ray crashed out on his boys, but honestly right now, that's the worst possible thing you could do. Now I know we're all in a competition here, but as soon as I saw that hill coming up, I would be making sure that I was best friends with everybody, because I'm gonna need somebody to help me if I start looking like I'm gonna go down. But here's the thing, the hill might be scary, but just like everything else, the right strategy makes this whole thing easy. And that's why you're gonna catch me at the back of the pack, because just like before, I'm letting the other—
That's why you're gonna catch me at the back of the pack. Just like the aerodynamics video that I showed you of the cow walking through the wind, I'm going to be getting a lot easier of a walk than the other people. They're going to be pushing through the wind that I'll be briskly gliding through.
Other guys take the wind to make my life slightly—
Yo, it's not the wind. It's not the wind. Oh my God. The wind, bro, it's the fact that you're walking up a 45-degree incline fighting against gravity. It's not the air resistance that's fucking killing people. It's that you're walking for 24 hours straight. It's the middle of the night, it's fucking raining, and it's hilly.
Easier, and then all I gotta do is get into a rhythm and power through. But what's scarier to me is the stuff that I can't control, like needing to sleep and go to the bathroom. Obviously, I would just try and stay awake and hold it in for as long as humanly possible, and that's probably gonna work for a day or two, but we need a backup plan just in case nature calls. You know, taking a shit is gonna be easy because, like, just let it rip as you keep on walking. I mean, it's completely disgusting, right? And embarrassing as hell, but it's better than getting capped while you're squeezing one out. So personally, I'm gonna be spreading it down the road like an old dog and just keep it pushing. But sleep though, that's gotta be the real challenge because eventually I'm gonna get tired. But this one's easy too if you've got the right strategies.
Yo, he's so in on aerodynamics. I'm just waiting for him to be like, and now that I think about it, I'd actually walk into the battle with a latex suit on to reduce my drag within the wind and make the walk even easier for me. I'm gonna nair every hair on my body. And I'm going to wear a slick morph suit.
So for me, I would just team up with a group of guys and work together so we could sleep one at a time. I'm not saying that we'll get the full...
Well, you don't really sleep. It's like this weird, you would be able to rest, but that's what it is. Like they kind of start sleepwalking. They have to carry each other kind of.
8 hours, probably like 30 seconds at best, but every little bit helps. And when this is all...
You would micro sleep.
...over, I'm gonna be laid up in the bed for a week.
What animals do that? There's animals that micro sleep.
Pete asks Ray if he thinks that he's going to make it, but honestly, he's been having some doubts, and Pete admits that he gave up on winning a long time ago. He says,
"Ooh, yeah, he said at some point he's just going to sit down."
That he wanted to believe that they wouldn't actually kill everyone because I guess he forgot that this is literally a death game. But now that reality came knocking, he doesn't think that he has what it takes to outlast the others. At mile 67, they come up on 2 kids on bikes who are about to witness something traumatizing. Everyone is feeling a little tense, and Hank's barely holding on, but that's when Harkness gets his first...
Yo, that motherfucker should have gave up miles ago. He breaks his foot walking up the hill like 8 hours prior. Breaks his foot. Fucking snaps. He's walking on a stub and his fucking foot is just hanging the other way, right? Like if this is his foot and he's walking like this, it's like his foot's to the side. He's walking on like the stub of his foot. And at some point he's like, I can't keep going. I'm like, yo, the second you broke your foot, you should have just sat down. Like you're not winning.
Warning, he snapped the out of his ankle back on the hill, and he's been walking on the bloody stump ever since. But it looks like he's finally reached the end of the line. The dude starts crying as he realizes what's about to happen, and everyone else knows that he's already done for. So Art starts shouting at the kids to look away, but they just sit there and watch as the soldiers blow his head schmoove off, making 33 walkers down with 17 more to go. Pete and Ray didn't like watching the nerd get done dirty, but Stebbins and Barkovich both start mouthing off again. And the truth is, only one of them gets to survive, so they better get comfortable watching people they like get smoked. And with that, they've officially made it 100 miles, which is when Art notices that the...
That's almost 4 marathons. Back to back.
Major still seems like he's not even tired, but Stebbins says the guy gets to sleep and take showers, so he's living the life of luxury while they're out there fighting to survive. Ray notices that Stebbins has a little cough, but he plays it off like it's just his allergies. But then all of a sudden, this one dude tries to dip out and make a run for it, but the soldiers light him up before he even makes it past the sidewalk, making 34 walkers down with 16 more to go. Oh my god. All right, now I'm sorry, but this dude should have just dropped out at the beginning and saved everyone the trouble. Like, that was honestly the worst escape attempt that I've ever seen. And Buddy...
I get him trying to escape in the city, but it's like, yo, like, actually, best case, he should have just dipped at night into the woods when, like, there's low visibility and he would be able to, like, duck behind trees.
Could have at least given us a fucking heads up first, like, damn, maybe I wanted to escape. But now, they're all gonna be ready for it. But anyways, I don't know what the guy was thinking, but he obviously hasn't been playing enough COD, because otherwise he'd know that glass doesn't stop bullets. Well, unless it's bulletproof glass, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, genuinely though, what was Bro's plan here? To run in a straight...
I think he should have darted behind the car. Maybe dodge a few of the bullets and then kind of bounce behind the building and just run.
Straight line and not even try to find cover. That door was probably locked anyway. So my man was clearly better at walking than coming up with ideas. But it got me thinking, how would I have done this? Well, honestly, at this point, I've already been walking for 100 miles, so my legs aren't exactly feeling fresh. And with only 16 players left, I'd have to be pretty dumb to even try. I mean, these guys literally have machine guns and tanks, so what the hell am I even supposed to do here? But maybe, just maybe, there's a way that we could pull it off. Now, if you want to do this successfully, the backup plan has to start before you even entered the game. So I'm gonna get one of my boys from the outside to make a signal, like a certain wave or a little dance I could hit to let them know that it's time. Then I would tell them to check the TV every hour, and if they see me hitting the Dougie, it'll be their sign to meet me a few miles up the road. But as for me, I would wait until it was...
What, you're gonna get in a getaway car? Bro, they're in military vehicles. They're gonna fucking blow you up.
It's nighttime and we were out in the middle of nowhere and then wait for a good distraction like one of the other players getting popped. Then
there is also restrictions. Like, they close these roads off. There's people that are allowed to, like, spectate on the side, but, like, you wouldn't be able to just, like, pull up in a car.
I would just dip out as fast as I could into the woods and use the nature around me for cover, ducking behind trees and rocks and shit until I was able to lose the soldiers, make it to the getaway car, and get the hell up out of there. But to be honest, I'm probably not even making it more than 10 feet, even with the best plan that I could think of. So right now, it's probably better to just stick around and try to actually win this thing. By mile 103, they start—
Where's this taking place? I think it's in, like, Arkansas or somewhere. It's, like, somewhere in the South.
They're talking about what they would wish for if they win. Ray says you're supposed to wish for something that money can't buy. And when it's Pete's turn, he says that he's gonna wish for the walk to have 2 winners. That way, not everybody has to get capped. Now they want to know what Ray would wish for, but he decides that he doesn't want to jinx it by saying it out loud, so all he'll say is that he wants his wish to change the world. They make it through the night without—
No, and he says, I think he says he would tell Ray, like, the next day. And he said he would spoiler. I mean, if you're this far in, you don't really care about spoilers. He says he would wish for a carbine, and they would have to give it to him on the spot, and he would shoot the major in the head, and they wouldn't kill him because you're the winner and everybody cares about— that'd be like you killing the Hunger Games winner. Like, people would be pissed.
At mile 144, it's pretty obvious that Stebbins, yeah, he ain't doing so well. Things get pretty tense when Art has to pull over for a quick dookie, but he's able to get it out before he catches one to the face. Now that they're alone, Pete asks Ray about that wish again, but he says that he'll only tell him if he keeps it a secret. It turns out that his dad used to show him all kinds of stuff that the government didn't like, but one night 12 kicked in the door waving the 4-4 and dragged Pops out into the street. They gave him one last chance to be a good NPC, but my boy decided to stand his ground, so they blew his face off right there on the spot. That's why Ray decided to join the walk, because if he wins, he's gonna wish for a rifle and use it to slime the major live on TV. Pete starts pointing out some flaws in his plan, like how his dad would still be around if he just lied, and he doesn't think that Ray actually has what it takes to kill someone. He thinks it's more important to actually appreciate their lives instead of going around looking for revenge. But Ray is convinced—
Yo, this movie is so fucking peak, bro.
—that his only choice is to slide for his old man. They pass a family of rednecks watching from the side of the road, and Ray says that they're only here to watch somebody get murked. But Pete reminds him that they all live in the same messed up country, and if Ray doesn't believe that there's still good in the world, then there's no reason even trying to win. Up ahead, they see a rainbow in the distance, and this makes old Pete start feeling a little emotional, so he grabs Ray by the shoulder.
Yo, I remember rewatching this scene because it was supposed to be an emotional scene about the rainbow, and all I could focus on was this kid looking like he just shit his pants in the front.
Up ahead, they see a rainbow in the distance, and this makes old Pete start feeling a little
fucking, like, hobbling.
So he grabs Ray by the shoulder and decides that they should be more than just friends. By now, they're pretty much brothers. But in the end, somebody's got to be an only child.
Okay. Ooh, that's cold.
Okay, well, now I understand why Ray was dumb enough to sign up, because his dad was a total idiot as well. So I hate to say it, but Ray's entire family has f***ed up.
You are not winning against this nigga in his prime unless you were doing this. And he was such an aura farmer, he actively ran slower on multiple of his world records because he was too busy taunting at the end. Like, this number right here is only a world record because he decided to slow down and pump his chest. If he was legitimately serious throughout all of his races, I don't even know how much faster he would have been. I think his most legendary moment gotta be the 2008 Olympics, where he got 3 straight world records back to back to back. Undisputed GOAT of the track field. And we got even more undisputed GOATs like Tiger Woods.
Oh my God, bro. I watched a whole ass video about how Tiger Woods was just a menace. Like, dude, because if you ran when Usain Bolt ran, you're still, like, recognizably one of the fastest people of all time. If you played when Tiger Woods played, like, you got literally generation gapped. You got unlucky. Like, you could have been the best golfer in your era, but tough shit, Tiger Woods is alive. Like, you can say that about anybody, really, but it's like, it was just so unfair. Because other guys that were winning the Masters and, like, world world champs and all these other fucking competitions in golf. It's like they were winning with scores that were like fucking 10, 15 strokes higher than what Tiger Woods was winning with. Like, if you played during his era, like, you had no chance. Actually no chance of winning. Like, you might as well just not even go.
Now, I know recently...
Well, that's not true, because in golf, if you get, like, fucking 30th, you still get, like, $2 million or some shit. You get, like, 15th place and get $1 million.
We seen this man Tiger Woods losing his mind.
Oh! Big foul!
Bro was out there trying to make domain expansions. His CTE was acting up. But he is, like, by far the GOAT when it comes to golf. When you look at a lot of the metrics, he is by far better than anyone at place 2, 3, or 4. He was so good in his prime, people actively played worse when he was on the court. Like, this nigga's hockey was so strong, they would struggle in his...
Well, the way that I perceive this, and I totally love the aspect of golf now, watching it, is... in a game, I would say golf is the hardest sport. I'm going to say that. I'm genuinely going to say I think golf is the hardest sport. Because the way that I was told this, and I think it's like no, chat, hear me out. I think golf is the hardest sport, and here's why. Here's why. If you are playing on a team, obviously you could rely on other players. So you have to, I'm saying it's the hardest solo sport. The reason I'm not joking is because if you're playing a tennis match, right? You are the best player in tennis if you win a tournament bracket. But realistically, you're better than 80 players in a tournament, but you only play 5 of them. In golf, you have to beat everyone. You are playing every single person simultaneously. If any of them have a good game, you lose. So winning a high-tier golf tournament is, I'm saying solo sport, chat. F1's driving. I'm not saying driving. I'm not saying chess. I'm not saying NASCAR, F1. Those are hard in their own right. I'm more so saying like tennis, boxing, golf, like I'm saying like solo one-on-one sports that don't involve like fucking machinery. You know, like I don't think you understand. If you're playing, this is how crazy it was. You could have the best game of your life on a golf course. And if another dude, 1 out of 100 other guys you're playing, also shoots high, you lose. Like, the odds of winning is so much harder than tournament brackets. Because if you're in a tournament, you don't have to beat every single person. You only have to win 5 games. You play 5 people, say, in a big bracket. You have to beat them. And yes, the way that a tournament's set up is the best player should win the tournament. But you're not playing and taking into account the fact that somebody that you play might have a crazy pop-off game. Like if you're playing tennis, as an example, this is what somebody used when I was being taught about this, I guess, and I agreed, is if you're playing tennis and you play a guy and he pops off, yes, you lose. But if another guy pops off in a different bracket for one game, that doesn't matter. But if you're in a 100-man golf tournament and you fucking have one guy have a great fucking game, you lose. It's that simple. Like, there's no other sport that's like that.
Presence. And there is some sports where the GOAT is more widely debated. 2 of the most toxic debates of all time.
And I suck at golf. Bro, here's the thing. Chat, I'm saying high-level play. Formula One also probably interchangeable. Formula One, it's like a 1 in a trillion that you become a Formula One driver. The tiers that you have to go through and the amount of expertise you have to have driving-wise to get to the highest level of Formula One is nuts. But I'm more so talking you know what I mean. Like, I'm not talking driving sports. I'm not talking shit like that, like NASCAR or drag racing or fucking, stuff like that. Like, being an F1 driver is also impossible. Not extreme sports. Yeah, like, at that point, you could say the hardest sport is fucking street bike racing because they die constantly. Like, now you're going into other factors that you have to fucking talk about. Like, you could say street bike racing is the hardest sport because there's like a fucking 1 in 10 chance that you're going to fucking die in your career. Like, you're just going to ram into a wall going 115 miles an hour and die. Like, Isle of Man. Yeah, people die every year. in that race.
Is between LeBron and Michael Jordan and Messi v. Ronaldo. Messi v. Ronaldo gets so toxic, it doesn't matter who.
When I say golf too, I feel like I was a little too harsh there. I think golf is the hardest sport. Do I think there are other sports that you could argue are the hardest sport? Yes. I'm not saying like, oh, there's no argument for Formula One. There's no argument for chess. I'm more so saying like the way that golf is set up is it's impossible to win.
Their fans are willing to skin you alive if you did Jordan and Messi v. Ronaldo. Messi v. Ronaldo gets so toxic.
Isn't Messi just statistically a better player?
It doesn't matter who you are. Their fans are willing to skin you alive if you disrespect them. I still remember this little girl at the World Cup saying Ronaldo was crying in his car, and grown men were actively sending a 6-year-old death threats. Bro.
Wow.
You're literally 40! But the debate between these two, I think, is the most intense in sports by far, largely because fans in soccer are way too passionate. Now, unlike...
Well, fans, the reason the debate's so high, too, is because soccer's the most popular sport in the world. Like, so that the argument's going to be pretty heated because you got to realize Messi and Ronaldo are probably, like, two of the most known people in the world. Like, I would say 80% of the people alive have heard Messi and Ronaldo's name.
LeBron and Michael Jordan, Messi and Ronaldo did compete against each other on multiple occasions. And damn near every single time they did, it was complete cinema. Now, if you look at the stats altogether, Messi low-key destroyed the nigga, but they have both had some incredible matches against each other. I think the most popular back in my time was in La Liga 2014, where Barcelona and Real Madrid went against each other and Messi scored a hat trick. I remember this game having niggas in my family going crazy. I don't think you could go wrong with either one. If I had to choose, I think Ronaldo got more aura. Sui is the most iconic pose for a reason, and CR7 is the coldest combination of letters and numbers I ever seen in my life. Messi, meanwhile, is gonna cook you on the court no matter the scenario, but he's gonna do this being the most socially awkward person of all time. Like, there was a time where he was accepting an award and he almost kissed Mbappe instead of turning to his wife. His poses next to people be frying me too. He is unintentionally the funniest person ever. These are two of my favorite matches from...
Dude, did you ever see the video of the kid? This was like recently. A kid that ran onto the court, or not onto the court, onto the pitch to take a picture with Messi. And Messi like awkwardly stood there and was like, as security sprinting out to like tackle this kid and bring him out.
The both of them. Definitely check them both out. And we can now go into LeBron.
Show it? I don't know. What would I look up? Messi. Kid runs on field to see Messi. Oh, wow. This has happened like multiple times. I only saw one video.
This Messi fan almost lost his life. Because this one young fan...
I haven't even seen this one. Also, what is this AI-ass voice?
This Messi fan almost lost his life. Because this one young fan ran onto the field to try and hug Messi during a game. The boy high-fived the goalie and continued running before the security guards finally caught on. But the kid actually juked out both of the guards and then ran all the way...
Yeah, they really do get the least athletic security for any of these events. Like, even at the Super Bowl, the guy that was streaking, the one dude, like, fucking tripped and ate shit. It's like every time, like, I feel like you need to train these guys, you know? It's always like a middle-aged dad that's just like standing there, and it's like, all right, now you're gonna have to run after a kid, and you're gonna eat shit in front of the entire crowd.
Ron and Michael Jordan. Now, basketball's GOAT debate, I think, is toxic as well, because it has largely devolved into which player can we discredit the most. Like, I hate hearing people say Michael Jordan couldn't win without Scottie when he was dropping 15 points in the finals, and Michael Jordan had to average 45 for them to win by 3.
Yeah, but I think the common argument is that the NBA talent by the average NBA player was far worse in in MJ's time comparable to now. So it's like, it's the same shit with like people saying like if you're in baseball, the GOAT is Shohei Ohtani. Like, Shohei Ohtani is arguably the best baseball player that's ever lived, you know? And he's also a two-way player. But like, you could be like, oh, well, on stat-wise, Babe Ruth was hitting him out of the park. Yeah, he was also a fucking guy getting thrown fucking straight lobs, dude. They were throwing straight bricks at him, and he was just fucking nailing him out of the park in a shorter field. It's like you have to take into account the time that they played.
And I have to hear Jordan fans saying LeBron is a choker when he has gone through series where he had to average 30
straight meatballs at him. He would go, oh, I'm going to hit this one out of her. Smoking 9 cigars in between innings. I'm like, this guy's not the GOAT. Right? Nobody's saying that because Babe Ruth played so long ago. But it's like, it's the same shit with MJ. Like, MJ's really good, but like, would prime MJ play how he did then now if he was in the modern day league? I don't know. I'm not a basketball expert, but I don't think he would play. I don't think he would be the best player. I think he'd still be crazy good, but like, would he be better than, fucking Victor Wembanyama? Probably not.
5'9" and
Wembanyama's like 7 feet tall. Like, moves like he's 6'2".
9, with his second best shooter averaging 12 and his third best averaging 9. And the teams that he was...
Are you joking? You think Michael Jordan today, if prime Michael Jordan stepped into the NBA right now, you think he would be better than Wembanyama, Jokic, fucking LeBron James? Yes, easily. Really. Would Michael Jordan be good today in NBA's terms? Without 90s era physical hand-on-hip defense, Jordan would have a clear path to the basket, likely resulting in higher shooting percentages. He would get more free throws. He had a 46-inch vertical. Wow, I'm dead wrong. Holy shit. He had a 46-inch vert. How many feet is that? 12, 24, 36. Dude, he almost had a 4-foot vertical. Who the fuck can jump 4 feet in the air?
Going against 2 MVP.
Oh my God. Yo, that's actually that Looney Tune, that Looney Tune scene, like Space Jam for real. Air Jordan, bro. Yeah, I know Air Jordan, but I thought he would have had like a 3-foot vert. 46 inches.
He's all-star cheater, DPOY, finals MVP.
He could straight leg jump over like most 10-year-olds.
For 2 years.
I gotta rewind.
35, 9, and 9, with his second best shooter averaging 12 and his third best averaging 9. And the teams that he was going against, 2 MVPs, all-star cheater, DPOY, finals MVP. For 2 years.
Oh, hell no!
Like, I honestly hate this debate for trying to make both of these incredible players look worse for the sake of a ranking. Both of these...
No, I don't think he would be worse. He also played... Dude, Michael Jordan played at a time where the rules were different. The NBA players might have been fractionally worse, but it wasn't that long ago like Babe Ruth in the baseball sense. Like, have you seen early basketball when it was just like all white guys that didn't know how to dribble? Somebody would do a behind-the-back pass, and it was like somebody would faint in the crowd from how crazy of a play that was. Like, that era was horrible. I don't know. I would love to see that. I wish there was a way that you could, like, rewind time and put MJ in, like, a regular fucking, Bulls game today.
Michael Jordan, they was out there calling him Black Jesus. It's blasphemy, but them niggas was right. Not only has he had the most aura out of any sports player imaginable, his stats pre-retirement were actually unreal. I'd recommend watching some highlights from the 1993 finals. He legitimately looked 5 times better than anyone who was on the floor. In LeBron, my glorious king, where do I even begin? Although he has done a lot of manipulation in this...
Dude, I feel like so many people are actually going to be, like, just physically depressed when he quits. Or retires, rather. Like, there are people that glaze LeBron so much that, like, him not... Because you got to realize as well, the average person in this chat has never seen a day in their life where LeBron wasn't in the NBA. Like, when you think of basketball in your 20s or younger, you think of LeBron. So when he's not in it, it'll feel weird.
His career to make sure he had the best chance of winning. I think fate made sure he paid for it every time because he has had some pretty terrible injury luck when it comes to his teammates. Like, he was out there playing with Anthony Day-to-Day Davis. This nigga would sneeze and be out for 2 weeks. And that has made him walk into certain series with his starting lineup looking like this.
Who are you people?
But the fact that he has always produced, despite his teams being rather atrocious at times, is simply incredible. Y'all should already know 2018 LeBron this year got y'all niggas acting like these. If I had to give you something to watch, I would definitely say watch the 2009 series between him and the Orlando Magic. It's literally a 30-minute highlight reel of some of the craziest athletic feats you will ever see. When it comes to more
I also just think, I know his son's not as good as him, bro, but seeing, like, you know how wild that is? That motherfucker plays on the same team as his son in professional basketball. Like, this isn't like a Sunday, like league game, like you're just like on the court in your local city. Like, this motherfucker is actively in the NBA with his own son. Like, he created a teammate. That is fucking wild.
Objective niches, it's a lot harder to choose a
also probably feels weird for him, man.
GOAT.
Like LeBron playing with his son.
Genres like hip-hop constantly have GOAT debates, and there was a time where it was pretty unanimously known as Tupac. I would say nowadays, if you're saying Tupac is the GOAT, it is a LARPer take. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but just
it'd be a LARPer take to hear somebody say Tupac's the GOAT from somebody that's young. If you were like 50 years old and you're like, Tupac's the GOAT, I'd go, okay, you know, makes sense.
Let me explain. Not saying Tupac's a bad rapper, he was incredible. But if you are under the age of 25 and you're going to look me in...
Who is the GOAT of rap or the GOAT of music? The GOAT of music's Michael Jackson, and then today I'm pretty sure The Weeknd and Taylor Swift are the most popular artists. And then Drake, I think, is also up there. But the GOAT of rap, obviously, I think it's, oh my God, I think it is Miles. No. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it might be Big Moochie Grape.
My eyes and say Tupac's the GOAT.
Oh, wait, actually, no, I think it might be actually Lil Pump.
You are just trying to be different and you are not a vibe, nigga. Like, real life, gun to the back of your head, name 5 songs from him. Like, what the fuck? You're dying. You're literally dying. Again, Tupac isn't at all a bad rapper, but I feel like people say this just so they can seem intelligent, like, wise move, nigga, why?
I don't know. I feel like if you, God, GOAT of rap, wouldn't it not be an older guy, though, like Nas? Like, wouldn't it be somebody that's, like, kind of, like, started that? Like, I wouldn't say, if you said, like, the GOAT of rap, would it actually be somebody that's new?
Wise move.
Eminem.
Rap, I think, is too...
But it's also, it depends on, like, if you're saying, like, lyrically, yeah, like, Eminem rapped the fastest, and he freestyled very well. But you could say the same thing about, like, Juice WRLD.
Subjective to have a singular GOAT, but y'all niggas just be saying anyone. Who? Now, all the kids nowadays saying Playboy Cardi when this is the only line he speaks actual English.
Yesterday with my pops, my grandma still play bingo.
NBA YoungBoy be getting glazed too, and although he is tough, some of his songs are rather questionable.
Like a baby, you could say that I'm a child molester.
What?
GOAT superhero is also pretty subjective, but not really. You could only really discuss these three as the GOAT. Like, niggas want to be different.
No, the GOAT of, it's not, it really is Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman. I feel like more people know Batman and Superman than Spider-Man, though, right? Spider-Man, I wonder how people, do people know Spider-Man in, like third world countries? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're outside of, what do you mean? No, I'm saying, no, genuinely, this is a real question. Like, because if you were born not in the U.S., it's like the friendly neighborhood New York City Spider-Man. Like, is that as known as Batman or Superman? Maybe. I'm pretty sure Spider-Man's the most bought costume superhero-wise. Spider-Man is widely considered the most popular and recognized superhero in the world. Wow. I really think because it's like Superman and Batman kind of fell off, no? I think like 30 years ago, like 20 years ago, it was Batman and Superman. I think the movies really, because you got to think, bro, there's been fucking 10 Spider-Man movies, right? There's been a lot of Batmans, a lot of Supermans, but I'm like, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. Nobody likes Spider-Man? What the fuck are you talking about? Nobody likes Spider-Man. What type of dumbass take is that? Nobody likes Spider-Man. Everybody likes Spider-Man. Everybody likes Spider-Man. I think Batman's lame. I think Batman's lame as fuck, comparable to Spider-Man.
So bad, they out there saying
I think they're all cool. Like, they're all superheroes. But it's like, at the end of the day, Batman's just a rich guy. Spider-Man is actually a fucking superhero. Like, what? Spider-Man, I also think people fuck with the most because you kind of relate to him. You know what I mean? You're not relating to Batman unless you're fucking Elon Musk and you're a billionaire. Like, nobody relates to Batman. You relate to Spider-Man. He's like a nerdy kid that, like, didn't have a lot of friends, gets bit by a spider, becomes a superhero, saves his local city, which is one of the biggest cities in the world. But it's like, it's a lot more real story-wise.
The real superhero GOAT is Nova.
What are you talking about?
The hell are you talking about? Spider-Man is my favorite out of the three, but Superman, I think, is the clear GOAT. He's literally
Boyevich wants to learn to fly a helicopter. Zavo shuts the idea down.
Doesn't that take fucking forever? Like, you gotta hire a guy if you're gonna pull a job off in the next, like, 3 years. Learning to fly a helicopter.
Pilot training would take way too long.
Yeah.
So Boyevich starts looking into another solution. It's September 2, 3 weeks before the heist. Boyevich is in his car, driving toward Hepsholmen, the small island in Stockholm. It has a museum right on the waterfront. Boyevich is here to meet these.
Soft launch the idea of you meet a guy that flies a helicopter. You go, hey, so purely hypothetical here, but like, would you be a getaway driver? Not really driver, flyer for like a bank heist if anybody were ever to do that? Like, how much money?
Two men. They've been waiting for him. He walks up to them and sits down between them. Just a few meters away, a woman walks her dog.
What if he says no and reports you? It's purely hypothetical. You were just shooting the shit, chat.
Her real job is to observe Goran Boyevich. She can't hear exactly what.
Hypothetically speaking, if you were to steal a penguin from the Boston Zoo, what type of criminal action is against you? Is that illegal? Like, how illegal is that?
The men are saying. She can only keep an eye on them. The three chat for about 5 minutes with Boyevich doing most of the talking. Then, handshakes. One man walks with Boyevich to his car while the other gets into a Peugeot and drives off. On September 28, 5 days after the heist, the police and a Swedish court announced that 6 suspects have been arrested. One of the suspects is Goran Boyevich. Searching his apartment, investigators found a bag containing about 118,500 kroner.
Completely unrelated. He's just a big gambler that's won at the casinos previously.
Roughly $15,000 at the time. He's believed to have put the team together. Another man is arrested at Arlanda Airport just before he can escape to the Canary Islands. The press nicknames him Flykt, which means escape in Swedish. His real name is Alexander Eriksson. He's a TV producer who runs in high society circles with Swedish celebrities. He's even rumored to be in contact with the Prime Minister. Between October and December, police arrest 7 more men accused of helping plan or taking part in the heist. One of them is believed to have planted the fake bombs. His DNA is found in the remains of the gloves and the lighter. In January, investigators identified the man who carried the submachine gun. The police already know him. His name is Zada Kadum, and this was his second armed robbery. Back in 2000.
How'd they identify that motherfucker from that image? What do we got, like AI running like build demographics on this? Like, I mean, how do you even tell who this person is? It's a white guy, a whitish guy. That's all you can tell from literally this one sliver right by where his balaclava and his shirt meets.
His name is Zada Kadum.
DNA.
And this was his second armed robbery. Back in 2000, he and a gang stole invaluable art from the Swedish National Museum. He was caught and served
It's Sal from Impractical Jokers.
2 years in prison. Now he's been caught again. In July 2010, the public prosecutor presses charges. While the 10 arrests are seen as a major success for the investigation, authorities believe there must have been more people involved behind the scenes. For over 10 months, the police gather evidence and interview witnesses. 50 investigators work the case full-time. By now, they have a clear picture of how much the robbers managed to steal. Almost 40 million kroner, about $5 million at the time.
That's so mid. That's so mid. You're 6 guys stealing 5 mil. Like, the way that I perceive a bank heist is you need to be able to retire after, right? You're done working for the rest of your life. Like, after everybody gets a cut and you're also laundering the money because now it's dirty money, like, bro, you're going to have like 600, 700K. Like, that's a lot of money, but like, you're still probably going to need to work.
Too much. Just under a year after the robbery, the 10 men stand trial. 5 of them are accused of being...
This 10 guys. And then how are we doing these cuts, man? Is this GTA? If I'm Goron, I'm saying, hey, buddy, I hosted the lobby. I'm getting 40%, right? Like, I'm not doing that bullshit where you come in for the final step of the heist and I give you an even cut. Hey, pal, you're getting 5% tops. 10, maybe, right? Getaway drivers getting more. I'm getting a lot for planning. Like, you split that up in a way where it's like, hey, I put in all the work, man. Like, we're not, like, if you're one of the guys that's now, like, just some, you know, chud that's involved in the last step, just holding the gun, like, you're probably getting nothing.
Charges of aiding and abetting. The public prosecutor is confident there's enough evidence to convict all of them. But the men deny the charges. Take Alexander Eriksson, the TV producer. He's accused of flying the helicopter on the night of the heist. No way, he insists. His DNA in the stolen helicopter? That's easily explained, he says. After all, the chopper was stolen from the flight school he's been a member of for 15 years. The undercover officer at the museum clearly identifies him as the man in the suit at the meeting with Boyevich. Eriksson admits he was at the meeting. And yes, he talked to Boyevich, but about wind power, since Boyevich works in construction. He claims to have an alibi, too. On the night of the heist, he was involved in a car accident. But there's a problem. An hour after the supposed accident,
he fucking crashes his car right into a fucking tree, like, minutes before the robbery goes down and just runs to the helicopter. Just, boom, fucking stumbles out there like, are you okay? You don't know me. You don't know me. Just fucking runs away.
He's spotted at a local McDonald's about a...
No! Oh my God.
On the night of the heist, he was involved in a car accident. But there's a problem. An hour after the supposed accident, he's spotted at a local McDonald's about a 30-minute walk from where the helicopter was later found. Surveillance footage shows Eriksson calmly ordering breakfast just before 7 a.m. How did he get from a car crash in central Stockholm to a McDonald's in the suburbs? The prosecution is convinced that 2 of the other defendants staged the crash to give him an alibi. Surprisingly, one of them, Zadok Adhum, admits his involvement. Investigators found his blood on multiple pieces of evidence. The other defendants continued to deny any involvement in the heist. But after just 18 days of trial, 7 of the 10 defendants are convicted. Alexander Eriksson and Zadok Adhum are each sentenced to 7 years in prison for armed robbery.
Yo, why don't you, like, get somebody else's blood and then, like, put it on the sledgehammer? Am I crazy, or is that, like, a high IQ play? It does connect you slightly, but, like, you just, like, in the bathroom. Hey, man. Some random guy at a gas station. Fucking spray it on.
Also goes to prison. Before the trial, they were seen as daring, clever crooks. None of them were elite soldiers in the Balkan Wars, as was speculated. But the trial stripped them of their mystique. They turned out to be nothing more than a ragtag group of violent criminals. After the heist, heated debate broke out in Sweden over how such attacks could be prevented in the future. Trade unions spoke out. Handling cash creates a dangerous work environment for employees. So, for their protection, maybe they should just get rid of it. According to a report from the banking union, 1 in 4 retail workers had already been a victim of a robbery, some multiple times. And according to an anti-cash lobby group, 2 out of every 3 Swedish kronor in circulation was actually unreported money. The helicopter heist in Vesberga contributed to a shift in thinking. Over time, cash gradually disappeared from daily life. Sweden was the first country in Europe to print paper money back in 1661. About 350 years later, it was one of the first to start abandoning it. The number of robberies in Sweden dropped dramatically. In 2008, there were over 100. By 2016, it was down to just 2. Today, many shops only accept cashless payment. Theft happens online now. In 2020...
Unless you walk into like a 7-Eleven and start stealing from those Bitcoin machines. I always wonder who uses those. You ever see those before? It's like an ATM, but you could buy Bitcoin at a gas station. Who the fuck's doing that? Who the hell's going to a gas station being like, I could probably make a sizable investment right now. Probably make a sizable investment in Bitcoin.
1995, the Swedish central bank reported that Sweden and Norway had the least cash in circulation relative to their economies of any countries in the world. But some cash is still around, and someone somewhere has quite a lot of it, because the money from the Vestberga heist was never recovered.
What? So that's how we ended? They never got the money back? So they're living lavish. They're out of jail now. Somebody got it. That's crazy. That was a tough video, bro.
Anonymous with the word superhero, and I don't think that will ever change. Greatest video game of all time, I think, is way too subjective. However,
it's Minecraft. The greatest video game of all time is Minecraft.
There was a time where there was a unanimous GOAT. When I was growing up, all these lists were dominated with Ocarina of Time on the top. Now, is it actually the GOAT?
Hell no.
No, nigga! I wouldn't even say it's the best in this series, but I would say for a good...
Bro, Minecraft is a game that every motherfucker, if you're a gamer, you play Minecraft. If you're a gamer, everybody plays Minecraft.
A 10-year span, most gamers were coining this as the best game of all time. And I don't know any other game besides
Red Dead Story Mode. It's different. It's a different conversation, man. You can't really throw story games in there because then I could be going like, yeah, fucking, The Quarry's awesome, but it's not the greatest game of all time. You kind of have to have a game that's like super replayable to be the greatest game of all time. Like, in contention for greatest game of all time, you have Pokemon, Minecraft, Terraria, GTA 5, probably. Like a lot, like games like that, not like a story game.
Maybe these three that
GTA 5, story game, and online. Yep, there it is.
have that on their...
Black Ops 2. God, man, Black Ops 2. Hold up. Let's bathe in nostalgia real quick. Oh, transit music. And then the main theme, dude. Bro. Chat, when you launched Black Ops 2, that shit, oh. Dude, go to the part where it's like hovering on the world and it shows all the lights. Black Ops 2 multiplayer theme screen. 2K is better. Yep. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, actually peak. Actually peak, man. Holy. I don't think it's the greatest game of all time contention. I don't think any Call of Duty is.
Resume. Now, GOAT video game characters, a different conversation. I think
actually, if you're going GOAT, Halo's up there. I talked to my Uber driver about this like a week ago. He was old. He was like 40, 42. Not old. That's rude. He was not old. He was older. Like an older gamer. When you think of a gamer, you think of somebody that's like 20. He was like 42, if I had to guess. He was making pretty valid points about Halo. Like, Halo paved a way for gaming.
It's very easily Mario. I don't even know who else would enter the conversation, but me personally...
I don't know. You can't really say Mario, though. Like, Mario's the GOAT video game character. Like, Mario's one of the most known video game characters. Probably the most known video game character. But you have to reference a specific Mario game, and you can't really do that. Like, you could say, oh, this is the best Mario game, but the best Mario game isn't the greatest game of all time. Sonic? I would say Mario's more known than Sonic. Maybe Pac-Man. Oh, see, now we're looking this up as well. What's the most known video game character? Mario. Mario Pikachu, Sonic, Link, and Lara Croft. I don't know if Lara Croft's on that list, if I'm being honest. Master Chief, Kratos, Steve from Minecraft.
Personally, I'm going Sonic. I know all the Nintendo fanboys mad, but what top 5 you smoking on, Mario? Cause my top 5 is Sonic, 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 Sonic.
It's no use. Take this. It's no use.
I got a Sonic versus Mario video in the vault. Let me know if y'all want it. That's all I got for now. Make sure to comment any other GOATs that I missed, and I'ma catch.
Bro, that was a goated YouTube video, bro. This guy's awesome. People really fainting at the Michael movie. MJ still making people faint from the grave. People fainted at the fucking Michael Jackson movie.
We believe that for somebody who's been bedridden for more than a year, that his body was in excellent condition, his skin was in excellent condition, and we didn't see any evidence of decubiti or bed sores.
In its article, GQ proposes a different theory than torture. During the 2 months between his detention and his confession, Otto was likely subjected to relentless interrogation for as long as 15 hours per day. The only respite from the interrogation would have been North Korean propaganda films. Previous prisoners were told their government had forgotten them. Some fell into debilitating depressions, even attempting suicide. At trial, so hours, weeks, or days before he supposedly fell into a coma, He was visibly desperate.
Please think of my family. I'm the oldest son in my family.
GQ speculates that in the hopeless hours after his sentencing, Otto may have attempted to take his own life. A lack of oxygen to his brain could have caused his injury. Of course, this theory is just one of many. An allergic reaction to a sleeping pill, an excessive administration of drugs, a suicide attempt, a heart attack, a form of torture that left no obvious lasting marks. It could have been any of these things. Without Otto here to tell the tale, we may never know the truth.
I mean, like, couldn't he, I'm just saying, I don't know if this happened. Couldn't he have tried to hang himself, like, 3 days after? Cut oxygen to his brain, didn't die. They save him, but now he's perpetually in this state, and the wounds that would be on his neck would have healed by the time he was sent back. He wouldn't have neck scars because he wouldn't have any laceration that would have been there would have been healed by the time they returned him.
In May 2018, something weird happened. Trump tweeted that he was going to meet Kim Jong-un in person, and everything changed.
Getting a good
I'm instantly asking that motherfucker what the hell they did to Otto.
picture, everybody, so we look nice and handsome and thin.
After the Singapore summit, Otto's name all but disappeared from Trump's lips, replaced by the name of Kim Jong-un.
And then we fell in love, okay? No, really. He wrote me beautiful letters, and they're great letters. We fell in love.
The previous year, Trump tweeted that he tried so hard to be Kim's friend and referred to their relationship as
It's a very special relationship.
In 2019, when asked whether he thought Kim knew about Otto's case, his reply was startling.
I don't believe he knew about it.
The Warmbiers were outraged.
Get the fuck out of here.
Trump had helped them bring Otto home and relisted Kim Jong-un's country as a state sponsor of terrorism. Now he seemed to admire him.
Well, he is very talented. Anybody that takes over a situation like he did at 26 years of age and is able to run it and run it tough. Very few people at that age, you can take 1 out of 10,000 probably couldn't do it.
Otto Warmbier was many things.
1 out of 10,000. Historically, the average person in power was younger than him. Bro, like, why are we glazing Kim Jong-un for being able to take over a dictatorship that was fucking handed to him? Like,
An all-American boy, an unlucky tourist, a loving son. But on the international...
Kim Jong-un was notably a bad student. Like, that was said of, like, he didn't do his homework, didn't show up on time. He was lazy. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? We're just glazing Kim Jong-un.
National stage, he was a pawn and a symbol. Pyongyang deployed Otto on the chessboard of politics, using him domestically as a mouthpiece to spread anti-American propaganda, and internationally as a bargaining chip, a hostage to be traded for the easing of sanctions or other U.S. concessions. For the Trump administration, Otto Warmbier was useful as a symbol, driving the narrative that he was tortured by a barbarous regime and possibly using his death as a means of psychologically preparing the American public for war, the threat of which Trump hoped would make Kim back down. Otto was sentenced to 15 years hard labor for an alleged crime that in most countries would be considered, at worst, vandalism, based on a sham trial. No matter what happened to him,
I think in most countries you wouldn't even get arrested. I think in most countries you would probably get a small fine, or they would be like, you're just banned from coming back to the hotel.
that in itself is damning enough. And even if he likely never had to go to one of North Korea's prison camps, they are hell on earth. Uncertainty about his cause of death.
What'd he do? Take a poster. And it might have not even been him. Everybody that was with him said that he wasn't even at the hotel at the hour that they said that he did it. And you can't see a face. You only see the figure of a man. And there's a lot of men in the world. So, like, that shit just pisses me off. I fucking rip Otto in the chat because that was fucking horrible. Like, wow. remember she was cheating her streams too. There was like a whole controversy that like her streams were just pre-recorded videos. And then she got in trouble for that. All of her lives would like loop. She wasn't there. It was just a video because all of her videos are like her just licking a mic. So you can't really tell if she's there because she's not really talking to you. So she would just like pre-record like an hour and then just loop it for like 6 hours. She is an OnlyFans. I believe so. Now everybody's gonna think that I bought it. No, I didn't fucking buy it. I saw it on a Miss Kip stream. Yeah, see, now my check gets me into fucking shit. I didn't buy her fucking OnlyFans. I didn't. Nah, see, I already gotta fucking defend myself from here. I didn't buy her fucking OnlyFans. Nope. I think she has an OnlyFans because I watch Miss Kip. Hey, it's not. Her fame is segmented for a few reasons. A lot of people that try to do what she does do not do it as long as she does. She will sit on Twitch, now that she doesn't do the loop shit, she'll sit on Twitch for 5 hours and fucking lick a mic. How boring is that shit? Like, she'll do that shit for, it's more so the dedication. I mean, like, yeah, she is an attractive person. She's claiming that there's people that are more attractive than her. But it's also, like, it's in part the fact that she's just dedicated to it. She's smart. Idea of the hot tub meta. Like, I'm not going to be one of those kids that's like, the hot tub meta is ruining views for everybody. It's just porn. Like, I'm not going to fucking bitch about it like that. But it is low-effort content. I mean, props to them for capitalizing on it. It's whatever you want to do. It's as low effort as doing a React Andy to goddamn fucking Hell's Kitchen or some shit, which everyone fucking does. That's why I complain about it. I don't give a fuck that they're like preying on the fact that they're attractive. That's whatever. A lot of streamers do that. Her doing her fucking ASMR licking streams is harder than what I do. I would rather do fuck. I have recognized the fact that a lot of Twitch streamers are popular because they're attractive. Not entirely, but I'm just saying, if Hassan Abi was fugly, he would have way less viewers than he has now. He would not be near. Who gives a fuck? It's on the viewer. Like, at that point, bro, bitch, don't watch her. If you're gonna watch Amaranth for her to just stand there, if people watched me to just sit here and not talk, I'll fucking watch The Simpsons or some shit. Them being mad at me because I'm not attentive to their weird chats, I don't give a fuck. I would just sit there and be like, if she wasn't watching the Netflix documentary or whatever she was watching in the first place, what is she gonna do? She's gonna do the same shit. Just fucking sit there. It's the most unrelaxing thing in the world. Can I say that? Can I say that? Listening to fucking ASMR licking stresses me out. Listen. Like, that's not calming me. Sleep stream today. Did she really? I didn't even know she does sleep streams. I know, whenever I tune in... did we raid her one time? No, I refused to raid her. I said I was gonna raid her. And it would be the most awkward thing in the fucking world if I had raided Amaranth. Whenever we tune in, if I'm live, because she's usually live near when I'm done my stream, she's just licking a mic. Every time. Licking a mic, I think one time she was doing Just Dance. Do it, though. I love that. Like, I want to do that. I've never played D&D, but I would get into a character. Would I feel really awkward and cringy for the first 15 minutes? Yeah. But I feel like being able to, like, genuinely LARP being an elf in the year 1230 in a foreign planet is pretty cool. The problem is then I have to pick up dice and roll something. I feel like it'd be better in, like, VR, you know? I'm sitting there, I'm wearing an outfit, and we're sitting at, like, a folding table. And I'm like, I cast Fireball. I roll 8.
Very nice.
It hits.
People. Very fun people. The only thing I've met in D&D people that suck is they're like the theater kids that take it too far. Very theatrical. Very here.
I mean, we all break the rules sometimes, you know?
Yo, this guy is fucking... He's like, I don't care about the emotional shit. Yo, this family's fucking stupid. Ray signed up like a dumbass because his dad's a dumbass.
But when you're a grown man with a wife and kid, you gotta be a little more careful. If there's one thing you don't want to mess with, it's the government. Especially when you live in some kind of 1984 world where you could just get smoked for just owning a book. Being a rebel is all fun and games until a legit military death squad kicks your door down. And at least for me, I would have immediately started acting like the most patriotic American that these guys have ever seen. But I don't think you're really hearing me. I'm saying I would have turned into Stan Smith the moment these fuckers showed up. No troublemakers here, sir. Just 3 people who love the good old red, white, and blue. Because honestly, how hard is it to just lie? And then as soon as they were gone, I'd just go right back to doing my OG shit. But since Dad had to go fight the system, that gave Ray this bright idea to go follow in his footsteps, and look how that turned out. He could be back at home watching this all on TV, but now he'll be lucky just to survive. So sorry, Ray, but you and your daddy done f***ed up. By mile 170, the boys are barely holding on, and Walker number 4's feet are starting to look like ground beef. When he can't handle the pain, he tries going up to a tank for some help, but the soldiers just run his freaking legs over and
oh my god, I forgot about this shit. Yo, like, he goes up to the tank for help. I thought they would just kick him off, bro. They just run him over.
Blast him in the head. Just 2 seconds later, this dude Tressler starts ripping off his clothes like he's about to turn into a werewolf. But the second he hits the side of the road, the soldiers just mow him down, making 36 walkers down with 14 more to go. By mile 201, another 7 walkers have gone down, leaving only 7 still in the game. It's nighttime again, and Ray is still holding on, but it looks like Hank could be the next to go. Stebbins chimes in that he looks ready to give up, so Ray goes over to—
Nah, bro, yo. Chat, I know we're watching the whole film's, like, summary right now. It is so much more, like, gritty right here. Stebbins, because you're watching this, you're like an hour and a half into the film. You know all these characters. Stebbins walks in, he goes, "Hey, Ray, you exhausted?" And Ray's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty exhausted." He goes, "You're not exhausted." He goes, "Look at Hank. Hank can't even speak." He starts like, and then it zooms in on Hank. Hank hasn't spoken in like 30 minutes in the show or in the movie, which is like days. Like Hank hasn't spoken in a day. He's barely walking. He like lost his tooth. He's fucking losing his mind.
Check on his man, but the dude is completely out of it. And after dropping some quick philosophical bars, he runs up to one of the tanks and grabs somebody's rifle. But they blast him and let him bleed out to set an example for the others. Art can't handle watching his buddy suffer, so Ray has to come pull him off before they both get killed. But there's nothing they can do besides keep going, so that makes 44 walkers down, with only 6 more to go. They make it another few miles before anyone's ready to talk again, and to make things even worse, this guy Collie tells everyone that Hank actually had a wife. That makes him the only married man in the entire group, and he can't believe the dude would risk it when he had somebody like that back at home. Pete decides they should all promise to give some money to Hank's wife if they survive, and even Stebbins finally agrees. It turns out he was actually getting sick after all, but he still thinks that there's a chance that he can win. Now at this point, you might have forgotten that crazy old Barkovich is still alive, and he's personally offended that Pete didn't ask him to join the club, so he goes up to Ray and starts trying to apologize.
Yo, and this is like some fucking psycho. Dude, it feels like a Joker scene. Oh, it's the most replayed scene. This feels like a Joker scene, bro. He grabs Ray and he's like, "I gotta be part of the friend group, right? Like, you guys hate me, but like, I didn't mean to make fun of that rank kid like 3 days ago. It's like, it's not my fault that he's dead. Like, he's fucking like sitting doing like, it's like a 10-minute scene too. He's like right next to his face, like whispering in his ear. It's so creepy. And the whole time I'm like, I'd be worried he would stab me.
But the more this guy talks, the more it's obvious why he doesn't have any friends. I mean, he's nuttier than a squirrel fart on a winter's day, and says that he can't keep the voices out of his head, so Ray just tries playing it cool so the dude doesn't snap. He's finally able to get rid of him without the guy doing anything crazy, but just when it seems like he's—
Yeah, no, and the whole time, dude, Pete's 3 feet away. Barkovich is going, "Can you ask Pete if I could be a part of the friend group?" Like some fucking second grader shit. And Ray goes, "Yeah, man, I'll ask him." And he walks like 2 feet over to Pete and he goes, "Barkovich wants to be a part of the friend group." The whole time Pete fucking hears what they're talking about. It's like so weird.
Finally starting to get it together, he walks straight to the front of the group and decides to quit the competition early, making 40—
Yo, quit the competition early, bro. He fucking cuts his neck open in front of all of them. And he says some weird ass shit. He's like, "I'll be with you guys forever."
5 walkers down.
Just traumatizes all of them.
Only 5 more to go. Alright, now I might be wrong for saying this, but at least they don't have to deal with that guy anymore. We're officially down to the last 5 walkers, which means that we now all have a 20% chance of winning. But as you can see, more and more of these dudes is starting to crack. Now, we all knew that Barkovich was crazy from the beginning, but you're probably wondering what happened with Captain Underpants over here. Well, I'll tell you. It's called paradoxal undressing. And basically, it's what happens when somebody goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They just rip off all their clothes and start running around like a crazy person. So yeah, walking nonstop for almost 200 miles will do that to you. And now we're not just talking about the physical challenge of walking anymore, because the mental side of things is going to be just as hard. So I'd need to make sure that I don't end up going nuts this close to the finish line. But actually, it's really not that hard as you might think. So what I'm gonna do now is start picking something up ahead, like a tree or a sign, and just stay focused on getting there. Then keep repeating that process one little bit at a time. And this is when I'm gonna start blocking everything out. So if one of these guys gets capped, no they didn't. They just went on an all-inclusive vacation to Aruba. And as a matter of fact, that's where I am too. You see, now—
So you would purposefully make yourself insane and ignore them? Like, I think it's easier said than done, because the connections you would build in this game would be so rapid. Like, Pete and Ray basically go from strangers to best friends in 3 days, because you're just you're like both you're views per video. It's ass. Witnessing that and witnessing like your career essentially just like slowly tank is what sucks. But I mean, you reap the rewards of the peak and the fact that you... something that I find funny is when there's a lot of guys that are like my age, like fucking late teens, early 20s, that'll say like, oh, if I had a kid or a girlfriend, I would never let them do an OnlyFans. I'm like, bitch, you say that, and then when you're a father and your daughter is making 40 times as much as you in fucking 4 days as you do in fucking a year, you're gonna be like, okay, maybe you're allowed to post those things. Like, I wouldn't give a fuck. People always ask me that. Would you care if, like, you had a daughter and they had an OnlyFans? Like, I mean, I'm not gonna, like, encourage them to do that, but if they do that when they're fucking of age, that's on them. Like, that's their life choice. I don't know why people are so subjected against that shit.
I've seen some news articles.
One of those platforms may have changed.
Oh, because she always gets banned so much. I respect Amaranth, though. Like, I think Amaranth is, like, genuinely a fucking, like, business mogul at that point. Like, she grinds out fucking social media. I think people hate on her more because she's the top of her category. But, I mean, people should just equally hate on the same amount of fucking low-effort shit that other people do. Chat, next video. This is a long one. I'm probably going to rant for a while. How to beat the super marathon in The Long Walk. Now, this is going to be a video about the movie The Long Walk. If you don't know the movie The Long Walk, it is top 5 movie of all time. It's not even close. Made me cry. I was panicking the entire time. It's not a horror movie, even though it's categorized as a horror movie. I would say it's a thriller drama, very sad and disgusting. The premise of The Long Walk, he's probably going to explain it in the video, but I'll give a little rundown. One guy from each state. So 50 people participating. They walk until there's one person left. If you go below, I think 3 miles an hour, you get a warning. If you get 3 warnings, you get shot in the head. You lose 1 warning every hour of no warnings. So if you get 3 warnings and you walk 3 hours straight without stopping, you get it wiped clean, right? And you walk until there's 1 person left. You have to poop while walking, eat while walking, drink water while walking. You can't sleep. So it's basically a fucking battle of attrition until there's 1 guy left. They also can't fuck with each other. You get warnings for hurting each other before people ask. And if you run off once you're in the walk, you can't leave. You're not allowed to quit. You're in or you're out. And if you're out, that means you're dead. So if they pull your name and you decide to go, right? This is optional, by the way. It's like a dystopian future. So they put their name in a raffle to go. And if they win, they get unseen riches. That's like the prize. The number's never disclosed, but imagine enough money to retire you and your family for the rest of your life and your family's generations. So I said in my head when I watched the movie, like $50 million is what they're getting. They're getting an absurd amount of money.
So imagine that you're so broke that your only choice was to sign up for the deadliest marathon in the world. It's just you, 49 other dudes, and a fat bag of cash if you reach the end. But guess what? Only 1 player gets to survive. And
what I hate is how casual they are with each other at the start of the movie. I also gotta say spoilers. This is spoilers. I'm going to probably ruin this film for you if you've never seen it. So, maybe if you want to watch the movie and not know what happens, I would leave, right? Otherwise, you could just watch it after. You're just probably going to know a lot of what happens.
Anyone who stops gets smoked on live.
Fucking hate that guy. Fucking hate that guy. I'll rant about him in a minute.
TV. But honestly, surviving this would be easy. And I've got the perfect strategy.
All right. Yeah, this fucking guy. Oh, it's going to be easy. It's going to be easy until you get the shits 70 hours in. Until you're 120 miles into walking and you have to fucking take a fat shit and you have 10 seconds to stop and poop. Otherwise, you're going to get a fucking bullet in your head. Okay.
To win the entire thing. So we're here to break.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Break down the mistakes.
Yeah, that kid's a bitch. I'm sorry. Spoiler. You have to be like 18 to participate. Most of the participants are between like 18 and 25 in the film. Nobody's really over like 26, 27, right? This kid, they claim, has snuck into it, and he's like 14. He gets a Charlie horse. He's like, It's like 10 miles in. 10 miles in? Yo, buddy, you should have never signed up. I feel like if you're signing up for the long walk, you gotta think in your head 200 miles. I'm walking from Los Angeles to San Francisco. I'm walking from Philadelphia to Boston. That's what in your head, you're going, I'm crossing states right now before I'm the 1 guy left. You have a Charlie horse 12 fucking miles in, buddy, eat a banana. Huh.
Made what you
first one dead. Ugh.
Should do and how to beat the endless march in
chat. How far you think you could walk? That's the let's start out with that. You got to walk until you physically can't anymore. Let's say there's no other people competing. That's going to drive you a bit further, but how far could you walk before stopping? I think I get 100 miles. Gun to my head, I think I get 100 miles. Spoiler alert, it's way further than that in the movie. It's way further than that. What really gets you is like 2 days in, where you're exhausted and you need to fall asleep. So you're kind of like dozing off while you're moving.
The Long Walk. So it all starts with this guy, Ray, who's just won a spot in a low-budget version of the Hunger Games. Basically, he lives in an alternate timeline where the country is dead broke after getting slapped around in some kind of giant war. And now every year, one dumbass from each state gets picked to compete in a non-stop walk-off.
One of the coolest things they do in the beginning is they go ID. Right at the door, they go ID, and he hands them the ID, and the guy waves him off, doesn't give the ID back. I mean, that's like a psychological warfare thing, right? You know, you have your ID, you hand him your ID, he just goes, you know, like, that, he's saying you're dead. Like, you ain't gonna need it anymore. Like, what the fuck?
Tree is dead broke after getting slapped around in some kind of giant
just keeps it.
And now every year, one dumbass from each state gets picked to compete in a non-stop walk-off, where only one player gets out alive. The winner gets unlimited V-Bucks and receives one wish. But as for everyone else, it's...
Oh my god, I love this guy. Hold up. I love this guy. Oh my god.
Back to the lobby as soon as they stop walking. Ray's arriving at the death game the only way that makes sense, by getting dropped off by his mom. She even packed him some cookies like he's going off to school, but it's probably the last time that they're ever going to see each other alive. When it's time to say their goodbyes, Mom tries acting like she's proud, but she starts ugly crying the moment that he tries to walk away, but it's too late to turn back, and after one last hug, he leaves to join the other 49 morons as they sit around waiting for it to start.
Yo, I gotta say too, this is not like me talking about his body or anything. They mention it in the film, and it's like, it's a part of the...
Civilians perished.
Wow.
In 1953, a ceasefire ended combat in the Korean War, but a peace agreement was never signed. Technically, the North is still at war with the South, and with its ally, the US. Most Americans are unaware of this war, so much so that the Korean War is often referred to as the Forgotten War. Not so in North Korea. The North Korean tour guide explains what...
Some random history that I'm probably going to poorly explain to you is that the U.S. originally didn't even want to get involved in, like, Asian war, like, involvements. But during, or right before the Korean War, something happened with Taiwan, and the U.S. wasn't going to get involved. And because it was outside of, like, the line of protection or something that they had geographically drawn. And then there was something that roped in the U.S. to Korea, and then that, like, fucked everything for, like, the involvement of China and Taiwan, and then also, like, Russia, and how they backed the North Korean, it was like the Iron Curtain involvement, where they were trying to get South Korea to be taken over. And so it became this whole thing that the U.S. ended up getting in. I'm explaining this terribly. Yeah, it was like, originally there was no plan for the U.S. to even enter the Korean War. Like, we were just going to be like, we're out of it. It's not our problem. You know, and then they just roped us in.
82 American sailors that were captured along with the ship. They were beaten, starved, and only released after 11 months. Otto Warmbier is not visiting just any country.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong on that. I probably got info wrong there, and I explained it bad.
He's in enemy territory. Danny Grattan, his roommate during the tour, will later recount that Otto seemed a little bit shocked. To lighten the mood, he and the other tour members give Otto a nickname, Imperial Enemy. The rest of the tour goes smoothly. Sightseeing during the day, restaurants and bars at night. They even engage with the local kids by having a friendly snowball fight. One of the reasons people...
You just throw an ice ball and kill one of them, and then that's a big deal, too. That'd be fucking scary, bro.
Travel is to understand the world a little better.
Like, I feel like if I was in North Korea, I wouldn't want to do anything there. Like, I would just sit in a room and wait until it was time to leave.
Brilliant does that for learning. It helps you engage with ideas in a hands-on way, so you can unlock...
Oh, it's an ad.
...to everything on the platform. Back to January 1st, after the fireworks. When the tour group returns to the Yanggokdo Hotel, they split up. Some go to the bar. Danny Grattan heads to the bowling alley. They lose track of Otto.
I'd be hitting that bowling alley up too, bro. Oh my God. Second they say we got a bowling alley in the hotel, yo, I'm on the lanes nonstop.
When Danny gets to his room, around 4:30 a.m., Otto is in bed, sound asleep. Then, a day and a half later, the group is ready to get on the plane. It's time to go home. As the last members of the group, Danny's and Otto's passports are checked. The officers take an unusually long time to scan their documents. Then Otto feels a sudden tap on his shoulder. There are 2 North Korean soldiers behind him. They lead him away. Danny doesn't think much of it and jokes, "Well, that's the last we'll ever see of you."
Oh my God, and that actually was the last time they saw him. I wonder if he would be able, like, was there anything he could have told them that would have them let him go? Because, like, they know he took the poster. So is there anything he could have said that would have been like, even if he was like, I love this country so much, I wasn't trying to commit a crime, I just wanted to have this poster as a memento because I'm too poor to ever come back here, and this is just something that I really wanted to, like, know. Even then, it just doesn't matter. You stole it.
Months later, Otto is standing trial in North Korea's Supreme Court. He's accused of...
I was going to start a North Korean worship cult in the United States, and this was going to be something that I wanted to spread North Korean ideologies to the United States. Like, even if you were saying some shit like that.
Violating Article 60 of the DPRK Criminal Code, state subversion. The central piece of evidence is this CCTV footage. It's time-stamped. The early hours of New Year's Day, 2016. It shows a staff-only area in the Yanggakdo Hotel. A shadowy figure removes a poster from the wall and appears to set it on the ground.
Oh, he was in a staff-only room? Do you think they would have noticed if he had taken something from the hotel? That's what I know this is in the hotel, but I'm saying his room. Like, that's more what I would have tried to do. Like, if I was going to take something, like something from the room.
The poster looked like this, a propaganda poster, and it contained the Supreme Leader's name. Let's arm ourselves strongly with Kim Jong-il's patriotism. To remove it from the wall is a serious crime, a bid to impair the unity of North Korea's people. And that shadowy figure? According to the prosecutors, that is Otto Warmbier. The trial only lasts an hour. The Young Pioneers' North Korean tour guide testifies against Otto. A second witness takes the stand, an employee who says they noticed the poster had been taken from the wall. Otto's belongings are presented as evidence, and fingerprints are shown on a flat-screen TV. But most of the supposed evidence came from Otto's confession 2 weeks earlier. Here, he goes into the details.
Oh my God, don't tell me he actually didn't take the poster and they just framed a random guy.
On January 1st, 2016, New Year's Day, I committed severe crimes against both the people and the government of the DPR Korea. The task was given by the Friendship United Methodist Church. At the encouragement of the Z Society and the connivance of the United States administration.
He's saying that the U.S. government and the Methodist Church implored him to take the poster. Did he take it or did he just put it down? Like, I don't understand.
I came to commit this crime task.
The full story goes like this. His friend's mother, a deaconess at the Friendship Methodist Church in his hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio, instructed him to deal a blow to North Korea by stealing an important political slogan to be hung in her church as a trophy. As a reward, he'd receive a used car worth $10,000. Were he to be detained, the church would pay his family $200,000.
The aim of this crime was...
Oh, wow. So this was literally just all set up by North Korea, and they just framed a guy to, like, say that he was conspiring against the state?
To harm the work ethic and motivation of the Korean people.
He told his mother about his plans.
She cried and said not to do anything dangerous. I considered less, not wanting to hurt my mother. But since then, I received several alluring pressures from the Friendship United Methodist Church, leading me to finally decide on my crime attempt.
He then shared his plans with a member of the Z Society, a secret society at the University of Virginia that Otto wanted to join. He'd heard all of its members go on to get high-paying jobs.
He promised if I was successful, he would help me gain membership in the Z Society.
Finally, he decided to do it.
After I planned in detail to accomplish my plan.
Yo, and like, do the North Korean people in this room believe this guy? Or do they also all know that this is a load of horse shit crafted up by some fucking dumbass on their end trying to say that, yeah, Otto Warmbier got paid by a random church pastor to fucking steal a poster. And that if he stole the poster, he would receive great financial gains and a used $10,000 car, as well as high-position job options when he returns. To steal a $5 fucking poster that is probably made of dog shit fucking material as well.
On the early morning of January 1st, 2016, I committed my crime of taking out the important political slogan from the staff-only area of the Angakdo International Hotel, aimed at harming the work ethic and the motivation of the Korean people.
And he explains,
what, the fucking one jam?
Then there are his teeth.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't even say the rearranged teeth. I would assume that if he had gotten tortured, they were like zapping his brain. Like that shit they were doing during World War II at that school. Or what? It wasn't a school. What was it called? With that doctor? Unit 731. Yeah, Unit 731 and Shiro Ishii. And they would, like, zap people's brains and shit. Like, they would just keep... it would be, like, electrocution torture, but it would be, like, to change your mind.
Fred Warmbier said it looked as though Otto's bottom teeth had been rearranged. Dr. Samarco couldn't confirm this.
We also consulted our forensic dentist, Dr. Wright, and I had him take a look at the imaging, specifically dealing with the lower teeth and mandible. He agreed with us that there is no evidence of trauma to the lower teeth or mandible.
In the lawsuit, this finding was disputed. Two of Otto's private dentists testified that his post-mortem dental x-rays, when compared to previous x-rays, indicated that some of his lower teeth had been bent backward, movement consistent with an impact injury. The New York Times had reported that Otto had been repeatedly beaten. That's not impossible. An ex-North Korean spy who was familiar with, though not directly involved in Otto's case, said he'd heard Otto was roughed up by prison guards.
그분이 감옥에 있으면서 간수들이 있잖아요. 간수들이 많이 때렸대요. 왜 때렸냐면 언어가 안 되잖아요.
He also continues to say that there might have been waterboarding. To him, that's standard practice, what he'd call
yeah, non-physical, like not, it's physical torture, but not something that would show up in like wounds.
Battery, rather than torture. It's difficult to say whether this ex-spy is credible, though. And even if Otto's teeth were bent backward, it's impossible to know for certain what caused that. Finally, the biggest injury of all, his brain injury.
The most important diagnostic test thus far was a magnetic resonance imaging scan of the brain. This study showed extensive loss of brain tissue in all regions of the brain.
In other words, the damage is universal, and scans show it occurred all at once. There's a technical term for this, an anoxic encephalopathy. It means an injury caused by a lack of oxygen to the brain. So either blood ceased to flow to Otto's brain, which would result in a lack of oxygen, or Otto stopped breathing.
This pattern of brain injury, however, is usually seen as a result of cardiopulmonary arrest, where the blood supply to the brain is inadequate for a period of time, resulting in the death of brain.
Oh my God, are they saying that he took his own life when he was in prison?
In tissue.
In general terms, one of the more likely causes of a cardiopulmonary arrest in a young person would have been a respiratory arrest.
In all likelihood, Otto stopped breathing. Any number of events could have caused this: an allergic reaction, choking, near drowning, anything that might prevent oxygen from reaching his brain. But which of these events was the cause? There's no way to know.
I hate that.
We have no certain or verifiable knowledge of the cause
How could he have done that? Asphyxiation?
or circumstances of his neurological injury.
A cause that could almost certainly be ruled out was repeated beatings. Repeated beatings to the head would have caused asymmetrical damage, with some regions being affected more than others. Also, scans revealed no fractures of the skull. Despite all this uncertainty, the Warmbiers insist on torture. And the question of whether Otto was tortured or not is not a medical side note. By now, it has the potential
trauma bonded, you know? Like, you're both experiencing something that's fucking insane, and you already are friendly with each other. It's
Now
like,
I can't get
fucked.
tired because
you couldn't just ignore that.
in my head, I'm already at the beach just kicking back and chilling. And if I just refuse to accept reality, then the other players, yeah, they ain't gonna stand a chance. At mile 260, they pass
10 marathons, back to back 10 marathons.
by a flaming car crashed on the side of the road. Khalid decides this moment calls for a sing-along, and they all start singing "Oh My Darling Clementine" in honor of Hank's wife. Now it's sunrise on day number 5, and they're getting close to the town where Ray's family lives. Kali says he's lucky for getting to see his mom, and he's pissed that he won't get the same chance again before he dies. But Pete thinks that seeing her is only going to make things worse. At mile 286, they finally make it to Freeport, but Ray's boots fall apart as soon as he gets to town, so he has to ditch them and start walking in his soggy socks. Which is when he turns to see his mother watching from the side of the road. It's a heartbreaking moment, but instead of passing her,
Oh
Ray
my god, this scene made me cry, bro.
turns around and starts saying that he's sorry until Pete finally comes to pull him back. He's having a full-blown panic attack about having to leave her, so Pete starts telling him a story about his childhood. He says his parents both died in the war, so he had to go live with his drunk of an uncle. But then he died from drinking too much, so he fell in with a group of bad dudes and turned to a life of crime. One day he got into a scrap with a dude who sliced him up, and that's how he got his scars. But when he woke up in the hospital, he realized that it was time to turn his life around, which is why he always looks at things from the bright side. But he says it takes a lot of work not to go.
Pete saved him. Pete saves Ray like 10 times in the film.
Back to his old ways. So he wants to use his prize money to help out other struggling kids. And if Ray wins, Pete says that he needs to give up on revenge and go back to his mom because he deserves to have a second chance instead of throwing it away. At mile 306, Stebbins decides it's time for—
Like, that is an unreal distance, bro. What is 300 miles? What's like distance from Pittsburgh? What's like a known thing? Like, what's Philly to New York? Philly to New York is only 94 miles. Okay, Philly to Boston. Philly to Boston distance. 306 miles. That is the exact distance that they're... So, if you could walk from Pennsylvania through New Jersey, through New York, through all of Connecticut, and through half of Massachusetts, and that's the distance they've walked. A 5-hour nonstop drive.
For a new deal. He says they need to stop helping each other and let nature take its course. And even though Pete doesn't like it, Ray agrees that he's probably right. The only one who hasn't said anything is Kali, and out of nowhere he rushes for a rifle and takes down one of the soldiers. They instantly shoot him in the gut, but he decides to quit the game before they can finish the job, and that makes 46 walkers down, with only 4 more to go. Alright, now we're down to the final 4, and I don't know who Stebbins thinks he is making demands over here, but he's clearly on death's door, and the boys have him outnumbered 3-1. So, honestly, why the hell would they listen to this guy? Of course, he wants them to stop working together because he knows it's the only chance he has of surviving until the end, but honestly, he's in no position to be calling the shots. So if it were me, I would try making him a deal. Think about it this way, right? Stebbins is getting sick.
I don't know, man. I feel like you could just rip a warning. Like, I think if I fucking dead-legged Stebbins here, he is fucked. Like, you get one warning for punching someone. If I walked up to Stebbins and I just fucking roundhouse him right in the kneecap, I think he is fucking instantly folding and he's not getting up. Like, I have a warning now. I'll walk for an hour straight. You know, if he's dead.
So he doesn't have that much longer, but he's also got a fresh pair of sneaks that he'll probably never use. And Ray isn't going to make it much farther on his bare feet, so if I were Ray, I would agree that it's every man for himself, but only if Stebbins lets me have the shoes. Then it's actually a fair competition. And if he disagrees,
he would never agree with that. Then it would just be like, all right, let's keep walking.
I'll just keep working with the boys and take the shoes once he drops out. At this point, they've been going for 324 miles, and now Art's nose is starting to bleed like a garden hose. Stebbins says that it's probably internal bleeding, and the other guys try to keep him up, but Art eventually cannot go on any longer, and tells Pete that he should be proud for coming all this way. The boys say their goodbyes, and Art makes them promise to give his necklace to his grandmother, but now it's time for the three musketeers to become the two, and the boys keep walking on as the soldiers take him out.
Millions of dollars worth of money. Aren't you equally smart enough to, like, con the system in a legal way? Like, I truly believe that, like, these guys that, like, fuck the system and, like, find loopholes in the government tax code could as easily just commit crimes, and vice versa. Like, if you're somebody that's smart enough to rob a bank and get away with it, you're probably smart enough to just actually make money.
Nothing happens. The man walks to the nearest bus stop and gets rid of his gear. His part of the job is done. Now it's up to the others. Back at the depot. Down here, Jenny and her colleagues are counting cash. Up here, a Bell 206 barrels toward the building. With remarkable precision, it lands on the roof, perfectly positioned between the glass pyramid and the edge. 3 people jump out. One is carrying a submachine gun. Another runs straight toward the pyramid and swings a huge sledgehammer at the glass.
Sledge from Rainbow Six. Okay, so we know what kits they're rocking. That's weird. He's like Rook on attack.
Again and again. Meanwhile, his accomplice calmly unloads his gear. Explosives, climbing ropes, and mailbags. 2 ladders are attached to the helicopter's skids. The robbers detach one of them and set it down beside the chopper. After a few more swings, the glass gives way. The helicopter lifts off. The robbers enter the building. Yenny's boss spots them. He knows they're coming for the counting room, so he rushes back and yells,
"Secure the money!"
Then he triggers the...
Secure the money! It's the Monopoly man himself. Chain doors or steel doors slam down.
But her boss's instructions are clear. The cash has to be locked away in these cages, made of reinforced steel, secured with padlocks. It's still quiet.
In the commotion, I'm pocketing the cash if I'm her. In the commotion, oh no, they're here still. Shoving the money
police
in your
station.
pants.
About a 10
They got away with some of it.
minute drive from Vestberga. Inspector Guran Palm is about
Oh wait, no, there's cameras everywhere. Never mind.
to finish his shift. He's waiting for his colleague to take over. When suddenly, the alarm sounds. Immediately, Inspector Palm rushes to his car. A colleague jumps in after him. They're told that the alarm came from the G4S cash depot. Helicopter, armed men, on the roof. Palm speeds toward the scene. He feels like he's starring in a Hollywood movie. Soon, they're closing in on the depot.
This would be pretty lit, dude. Responding to a bank robbery.
When Palm spots something on the road. The officers jump out of the car to find out.
Actually terrifying as well, though. I feel like you would have like a mixture of adrenaline and also like morbid fear. Because this is going to result in a shootout.
What just happened? Chains, stretched across the entire road and studded with spikes. The robbers are inside the building now. They set up a ladder to climb up to the 6th floor. The main vault where the money is usually stored is on the 2nd floor, but the counting room is up here. To get there, this glass pane needs to go. Hitting it with a sledgehammer doesn't work, so the robber uses explosives.
Hitting a glass pane with a sledgehammer doesn't work? Oh, we're on thermite. Okay. Is it like bulletproof glass? How is it not breaking?
So the robber uses explosives. He presses a bomb made of dynamite against the glass, connects a wire, and detonates it. They enter the office and smash through this simple door. Now, just a single steel door separates the robbers from the cash depot's staff.
Lot, but like, he's not making it, bro. He's the main, these two are the main characters, and he's not making it. He's like 6'2", 220, you know? The guy that's going to win the long walk is probably 5'7", 120 pounds. Like, you got to be skinny, you know? Like not even muscular, skinny. Like, Isn't this voluntary? Yeah, but that's part of the plot too, is like they sign up and they're like, it's voluntary, but like one of the lines in the movie, he says, I forget his name. He goes, I dare any of y'all to tell me a time any motherfucker didn't sign up. You know, it's voluntary, but everybody always signs up. Name a guy that never signed up, because it's like everybody's so broke that you would do anything to be rich.
All right, fam. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been wanting us to cover the long walk for a while, so of course I had to do it for my people. But I'm gonna be honest. I started out wondering, how in the am I gonna make an entire video about a bunch of dudes just walking down the street? But then it dawned on me, we can basically just wrap it up right here, because this is actually one of the easiest death games ever made, and I've got a plan to survive it without even trying. So here it is, my genius plan that's 100% guaranteed to work.
Okay, they all have their own backpacks of whatever. They get food rations and water rations, but they're allowed to pack whatever they want in their backpack, probably with some level of guidelines because there's a rule book. Yo, I'm packing fucking nicotine. Like crazy, bro. I'm filling that fucking bag with Zins. I'm so serious. I was actively thinking about this. I'm filling that bag with stimulants. Like, if I'm allowed to do that, I'm just fucking double decking. Like, you're 8 hours in meth. Yo, if I was allowed to bring meth, I'd bring fucking meth. First time, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to do crack. You know, I'm going to do fucking crack for like day 3. I'm falling asleep. Time to break out the pipe, you know? Fucking, at that point, you just got to stay alive. Something to keep you up. Adderall? Ooh, that'd be good, but then you won't eat. You need to eat.
To survive the long walk is to just never...
Yo, best way to survive the long walk? Get a catheter and a colostomy bag. Oh, you win. You win. You ain't got to piss or shit. It just does it. You just walk. Don't stop walking. That stimulants, colostomy bag, catheter. Boom. Catheter would probably pull a little bit at some point. 100 miles in, it's probably going to get chafed. Maybe not. Colostomy bag would work.
Walk is to just never sign up for this.
Yeah, walking 100 miles with a tube up your dick hole, I don't think that would work very well.
In the first place. Like, seriously, I can't believe how...
Is there a limit to how slow you can walk? Yes, that's the whole premise of the movie. You have to walk, I think, over 3 miles an hour.
Oh, dumb.
They all have watches that track their movement, and they get like audible warnings. They'll go number 47, warning 1, number 47, warning 2, number 47, final warning, and then they shoot him.
You'd have to be to actually think this was a good idea. And I mean, it's not like the Hunger Games where you don't get a choice. Signing up was...
This is harder than the Hunger Games. I will stand on that. This isn't some low-budget horror games. This is harder than the Hunger Games. He's saying it's easy. Having to walk 300-plus miles to not die nonstop. You're not sleeping for days. You're shitting on the floor while you're walking. Bro, way harder than just fucking stabbing somebody with a spear. Are you insane? Watch the fucking movie. Oh my God, this is the fucking point. Literally, this guy, favor to win, minus 2,000 odds. Fucking jacked, built, fucking shredded to the gills, stoic, doesn't talk. He gets a small cold, day 2. Newsflash, your immune system never heals. If you get sick, you get a cut. Your body's never healing because you're never sleeping. You're never not moving. You're always moving. So if you get dude, a cough, death, kidney failure, lungs filling with liquid, you're dead. You know, because you're never gonna beat something small because you can't rest. You never have recovery.
Money, then you're severely underestimating my grind. Like, sure, times are tough, but if Peepaw survived the Great Depression, then I can get through whatever the hell's happening here. And I mean, these people all have cars and so how bad can it really be? So you can trust and believe that I'd be living in the sewers and surviving off a spare change before I ever got desperate enough to even try this because I'd rather be thugging it out in a cardboard box than getting capped on live TV. But okay, let's just say I was a real sicko who actually wanted to risk it for the biscuit. Well, in that case, I'd just be spending the first 18 years of my life training like a damn anime villain. I mean, forget learning to count.
Yo, actually, none of them ever talk about like, yeah, I prepared for this. They always show up with like a bag half full. Like, in the movie, the main character gets a tinfoil wrap of 4 oatmeal cookies. Yo, I feel like you would have to have a survival bag. You have to have some, bro, you'd be plotting that shit out months in advance, training every day of your life. I'm dropping out of school. I'm walking every day. I'm running some Kipchoge-ass fucking training montages, you know? I'm training like the fucking marathon runners are. They're really poor. Yo, your son's about to get shot in the head. You can't scrap up more than 4 oatmeal cookies? Are you fucking kidding me? They're really poor. She drives a car. It has gas in it. How much does an oatmeal cookie cost? Your son's walking till he dies.
I got one job and one job only. To become an absolute jacked monstrosity before my 18th birthday. I'm talking leg day every day. Nothing but squats, lunges, and lean protein until my body's legit shaped like a triangle. But it's not just about how you train, it's about the mental game as well. So hear me out. I'm gonna go back and watch all the tapes.
Here's the problem, though, that I want to counter his point. He's saying I would be training from day one till I was 18 years old. But it's a lottery. There's millions of other people that are signing up. So why would you waste the first 18 to 22 years of your life training every day for the long walk and then never get pulled? You know? Like, you might just not get picked, and then you just don't do it. So,
to read me the rules until I have all the best strategies and the legs of Saquon Barkley. And then I'll be ready to smoke these other losers and go home with the baggie. Now, on his way past the guards, Ray makes friends with this dude, Pete, who's got a big Joker scar all the way up his right cheek.
Best character in any movie.
It's not like this is a beauty contest, but if it was, there's one guy who looks like he'd win either way, and his name is Stebbins, and he's clearly the most athletic one in the group, so he's got the more gamer-bodied dudes shook before the walk even starts. Then we've got Hank, the nerd with the big mouth, Art, the nice religious guy who's basically the polar opposite of this clown, and this Malcolm in the Middle looking dude.
Nah, this is making me sad right now watching all these characters. Don't care about this kid. They try to get you to be emotionally, you know, like all these other guys go through so much more shit, bro. He dies in like 20 minutes. Like he dies like right after this shit starts. I'm sorry for spoiling it. This motherfucker gets capped so quick. He fucking gets he gets a Charlie horse like 10 miles, like half a mile in. Like, it's like fucking instantly, this kid dies.
Curly, who's definitely gonna make it past the first day. The others start ripping on Hank for talking.
I don't even think he makes it to the first night.
Too much, but then they realize that he's pretty normal compared to this weirdo